Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
For more than a century, AM radio has evolved to meet the needs of our community. More than 80 million listeners depend on AM radio each month. AM radio is also the backbone of the emergency alert system, which keeps us safe in dangerous times. It's reliable, free, and public safety depends on it. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Lots of people hired us. We've collected over $15 billion and won a lot. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When I started in '98, it was a different mentality for first responders.
I've seen a lot of people struggle after retirement, still fighting the same demons that they had on the job.
The ability to reach out to a peer support program is huge.
I've done your job. I know the burden you carry. You've saved other people. Let us save you at this time.
It only takes a couple seconds to dial 3 numbers.
First responders, call 211 or visit stayfitforduty.org.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Doug Brown, Braves lefty Max Fried goes on the 15-day injured list with a blister on his left index finger. He worked 6 innings last night in a win over the Nationals. The hope is that Fried will have time to get ready for baseball's postseason. ESPN's Dan Graziano says the biggest game on the NFL schedule Sunday might be the matchup between 0-2 teams.
Chargers-Vikings, that's like the highest stakes game of the whole week. The loser's toast. And I think it's 2 teams that both expected to be made to be playoff teams this year.
Dan Graziano on Unsportsmanlike. Patriots corner Marcus Jones goes on IR today. ESPN's Mike Reese reports Jones has a torn labrum in his shoulder. He'll be out at least 4 weeks, but it could be longer. In what could be its final season, there are 3 Pac-12 games tomorrow featuring top 25 teams head-to-head. 10th-ranked Oregon hosts number 19 Colorado at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Also, number 11 Utah hosts 22nd-ranked UCLA. And the only 2 teams still committed to the Pac-12, number 21 Washington State hosts 14th-ranked Oregon State.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from Week 3 in the NFL. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Kasey, I don't understand it. You're like a degenerate. You bet on everything.
Yes, sir.
Why wouldn't you do the McCaffrey score a touchdown every game of his life bet?
I didn't know. I had no idea. I mean, McCaffrey was hurt there for a little bit, so you kind of forgot about him. Then he went to San Fran. Then he was scoring a lot of touchdowns, and now he's made $70,000 if you bet every single game that he's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, so that's basically the story. He scored 12 straight touchdowns, and if you bet Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown, and then you kept carrying over your winnings, what would you have earned?
$78,000.
$78,000.
$78,000.
What would you have done if, like, Christian McCaffrey would have scored all these?
No, Christian McCaffrey.
It had to be McCaffrey?
Yes.
Not McCaffrey.
So, but here's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Doesn't McCaffrey seem like the kind of guy who's not going to stop at 12 touchdowns? Like, doesn't this feel
now
like
he's definitely not scoring next week.
No, I think he's going to score the next season and a half. I think it's going to be like a 37-game streak.
I will say, what Kasey said is right, though. Every time McCaffrey goes out there, you do wonder if he's going to make it through the game.
Right.
I mean, he's all bing bong all around the line.
Well, he is, but he's injury kind of.
Don't say it. He's not injury prone.
He got
healthy
tackled.
guy.
He got tackled twice last night that I was like, he's not getting up. One,
built different.
I don't know what dude was doing on the Giants, who stink, by the way. It felt like he was holding on to his leg a little too long, little turn. I was like, if this guy blows his knee out, I'm going to fight because I have McCaffrey.
He kind of had to hold on to him that way, right? I mean, he was about to ready to slip away, but I saw that play too.
I was like, what are you doing?
Uh-oh.
And then the face mask that I think they did call.
Yeah, that was on Jihad Ward.
It was on Jihad Ward. You're right. I was like, what are we doing? Like, trying to hurt my boy over here.
I'll say this. I don't watch a lot of McCaffrey, and maybe when they were supposed to be on, he's been hurt, like in times that I would have seen him. That dude runs hard.
He's electric.
I mean, he runs hard, and yeah, he is. Like, there are even runs in the game, because, again, I just don't watch a lot of San Francisco, that when they put the other back in and he wiggled through and then got caught, you were like, well, McCaffrey wouldn't have got caught there. Like, that would have gone for a touchdown or would have gone for 24 yards, or like, you can just see it. And it's really impressive to see what he's been able to do. He's dangerous. Is he about as dangerous as it comes in the NFL? I mean, Tyreek Hill is very dangerous, right? But, I mean, McCaffrey feels even more dangerous than Derrick Henry.
More dangerous than Tyreek Hill?
More dangerous, only because Tyreek Hill, there's one aspect here you got to look out for. That's a fast receiver. You got to be careful. This dude will burn you down the line. McCaffrey, he's a great back. He's elusive. He's not just fast.
You don't know how he's going to get it.
And he's tough. Quick.
Yeah.
He's jukey. He'll hit you in the face. He'll catch it out of the flat. He'll catch it down the field. There is nowhere on the field this man gets covered. And by the way, a great blocker. I saw him lay at least two guys out last night. I saw him assist George Kittle.
Nice.
In something that should have been an easy block for Kittle. Pulling to the left. McCaffrey comes flying in off the frame. This dude is an everything guy.
Who's the other? Who would be in the conversation?
I mean, I think his teammate, when healthy, Deebo Samuel, is also that guy.
Yeah, he had some tough runs.
And
inconsistent, though. But
inconsistent, but when he's healthy and if he can get consistent, you can line him up anywhere you get him the football. He runs angry and he runs fast.
You keep saying when he's healthy. Is he not healthy right now? I thought he was.
Well, even he got banged up in the game.
No, he's like he wasn't last year. Yeah. Like, he had the big year. He demanded the money, got paid, didn't want to be running that whole thing.
And then he's put on some weight this year, this offseason, like muscle weight. He's a bit thicker now.
He is. He is tough. I mean,
I thought you were saying he is.
It's just amazing. He does not look like a receiver. I mean,
but Saquon is in that conversation with CMC where, like, you don't know where it's coming from. He can hit you from every angle.
Yeah, I'll tell you this about San Fran. Watching they are tough. Comes to mind when you think San Fran. Now they have some explosiveness too. The yards after the catch stats that they were showing. I mean, it's pretty crazy. But it also comes to toughness. Breaking tackles is a toughness thing. They seem to tackle and wrap up very well on the defensive side. They hit you pretty hard and. Deebo gives them that physical presence. Again, McCaffrey's not just electric. He's a physical presence guy. Their offensive line's big. I mean, they play a physical brand with a dose of explosiveness. It's got a lot of Philadelphia in it, I guess, right? I mean, Philly feels that way outside of the quarterback. I mean, Purdy's not doing that, what Hurts does, but it has
Philly's not that fast, though, for my money. Their receivers are fast. Okay. If they use DeAndre Swift in the way that I think everybody thought the Lions were going to in 2020 when they drafted him, they could be that. But they're more of like their receivers are fast, but their running backs have just been kind of punchy in the mouth. So I think they could be, though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. They're more plotting than power and explosive. Yeah, I see that too, or it feels that way. They might not be by the measuring stick, but it feels that way. I was going to save it till a little bit later, but I mean, that last night was just an example of two teams that one has a running back and one doesn't. Like if Saquon Barkley plays in that game, I'm not telling you the Giants win, but it certainly feels different. And McCaffrey, everything works around him. I mean, your guy he should have been picked a handful of times.
My guy, Purdy.
Yeah, I mean, he was off. And,
he was not great.
And Daniel Jones was off too, but I mean, Purdy got fortunate that several passes on like one drive weren't picked.
Purdy could have got picked 4 times.
Yeah, legit. But he also makes some really nice throws under pressure. The 2 touchdown plays are really nice throws under pressure and nice plays on the ball by his guy. There was a play like Waller near the sideline. I thought he should have made a play, and then I looked at the replay, and Daniel Jones overthrew him by about a half a yard or yard.
Yeah.
But that's another one. The 2 tight ends that were so talked about maybe 2 years ago, Waller and Kittle, it's just like there, aren't they?
I mean, Kittle's biggest play was stopping the interception early in the game.
Like, are those guys not
Waller's
stars
been injury prone. When he's on the field, he's, one of these hybrid guys, so you got to keep an eye on him. But he's been injury prone, soft tissue injuries.
But he was like unstoppable at times when he was good, and he didn't have any separation yesterday. He doesn't go get a high ball over the middle when he could. He just looks like a guy making $15 million or something a year. And Kittle, I don't know if it's because they have so many weapons.
They also use him to block a lot. For a guy who made his name as a pass-catching tight end who could score touchdowns, they ask him to do a lot on the offensive line.
I wasn't like I didn't leave that game. I watched a good amount of the first 3 quarters thinking Daniel Jones sucks. I just didn't think he had anything.
Yeah.
I thought he actually did some good things with they just weren't going to be able to function without their tackle, without their best player, and they still have a very average receiving core. I mean, they can talk all they want about a guy like Hyatt, but, I mean...
Play him.
Yeah, play him, and how about try to throw it deep? Like, just see if he can make a play. But they were playing in a box last night.
Hyatt is all-pro on the sidelines. Play him. Your guys stink.
You got to wonder if you have enough time for Daniel Jones to even get the ball down there to him.
Now, that's also true, especially without Andrew Thomas. But, they've had the Darius Slayton experiment for 45 years. He's still the same guy. Call it. Sterling Shepard. Call it. Play Jalen Hyatt. I don't get it. He has, 3 catches on the season before last night. He had 3 catches on the season. He was averaging 40 yards a catch.
Yeah,
here's an idea. Throw it to him.
I know. They were screaming for it, too. I think at halftime or maybe during the broadcast, whatever it was. But and I don't know how good he is, but try it. Try a little something.
Try.
Here or there. But again, I didn't think I was actually impressed with how Daniel Jones handled some of the situations. He was just under attack.
Under duress,
quite a bit.
Which should be the expectation when you're going up against San Francisco.
Yeah, you know how hard what they did last night is? They got to go on a Thursday nighter to San Fran. Come on, NFL. I don't care about the Giants. I'm just saying, come on. Thursday nighter
that sucked
across the country, and then on top of it, I mean, NFL can't plan for this, but they lose 2 of their best players on offense, their tackle and Saquon, obviously. I mean, they had no chance last night.
Yeah,
none.
The rest of the league, the rest of the world didn't give them a chance either.
I actually thought for the first 3 quarters they hung in there pretty good, given the circumstances.
I did too. I never felt like San Francisco was in control because I honestly thought Brock was going to make a mistake. Was not a banner game from the kid, but you know what? 8-0.
Meanwhile, Daniel Jones quietly costing me 2 leagues, guys. 2 leagues. Here's a guy streamed off waiver wires week 1 because apparently everyone in the leagues that we're in and that I'm in likes to draft 3 quarterbacks. It's
Bro, go Holler and Middleton. He's got 3 of them.
It's impossible to stream quarterbacks when you got these nerds hoarding them in their basement. What is happening in these leagues?
Who did you draft?
Well, I drafted Daniel Jones probably.
Oh, geez.
And then I went to the waiver wire, and it was all Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. I was like, all right, I guess Daniel Jones is who we riding with. And he got me a couple of points.
That sucks.
Not last night. Certainly not not against Dallas. But, there's not much else out there. Daniel Jones, please help a brother out.
Yeah, there's not much cooking right now. I would. You got Andy Dalton this week if you want him.
Oh, that actually might have been in the move. Or Gardner.
I don't think Andy Dalton's going to be. He's going to throw 3-yard passes to Adam Thielen all game. Both of them are going to like Walker Cane race each other till halftime.
I mean, Daniel Jones didn't do much better.
Gardner might be a play.
You know what was weird last night?
I might actually consider that.
I couldn't figure this out, and if I would have known this, I would have asked Ducky. I was just, 2 minutes before kickoff, perusing.
All right,
the props looking like.
What'd you see?
Graham Gano, 1.5 as we expected. It was plus 180.
Whoa.
Really?
Well, that's what I said.
Because they didn't think the Giants could score twice?
They didn't think they could get on that side of the field. Wow. And I was like, here we go.
What did Gano end up with?
He had 2.
Yeah. Would have been in the money, dog.
Oh, I was in the money.
Ooh,
oh, you got it.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Are you kidding me? I put it all down.
Oh, he wasn't just 57-yarder, by the way.
Yeah, I know. 57. Okay.
So it wasn't as easy as you thought it was.
Yeah. It wasn't. They were right.
Really shaking in your boots.
End of the half, I'm like, we got to go for it here, Brian Dable. Like, it's still a close game. You need points. Get points for the half. Get the ball, do the little flips, a Ruski. And then it's 57. I'm like, and he had leg to spare. He could have hit that thing from 63.
You saw my tweet, right? I mean,
Shout out Graham.
I was like, these guys don't even swing the leg anymore, and it goes 57.
It's like a leg flick.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Mad easy for the kid.
I mean, it was just like bunted.
Like Graham
McManus is the same way. My goodness, McManus. Seriously, having, what'd you say?
Said it's like Graham Yes. Instead of Gano.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Holy cow.
That was not
bad
harder,
jokes.
fellas.
Big time today.
That was tough, man.
What's interesting around here is we've had your guy, Matthew Wright.
Man of the year. Holy cow. Yeah, Matt Wright. He is the man of the year.
And then Riley Patterson. And both were good kickers. Both did a good job for the Jags.
Them boys had to try.
But they could swing like Bugs Bunny and throw themselves around in a circle. And they wouldn't hit it 57 yards.
Man.
And these guys are just, they look like they're hitting a knockdown wedge. McManus is a big leg. McManus is a big guy. Doing the sidelines in the preseason, a lot of kickers are smaller.
Sure. They don't have to be big. They don't have to work so hard on the upper body in the weight room.
He's a big guy. Like, tall. I don't know if he's like, I'm not telling you like he's in the weight room benching. Just saying he's a tall, like he'd probably be a good athlete in a lot of different sports. You know what else is like that? Logan Cook. Like Logan Cook is like an athlete. You can tell.
Goated.
Not just a punter, he's an athlete.
Favorite Jaguar, Logan Cook.
If we get back to the running game stuff, it brings us back to Jacksonville, which has been a little bit of our topic this week of how do you get the offense cooking, and do you need to get the ball in the hands of the running backs more? And with a front four that's really the strength of the entire football team, I would say, against Houston, do we see more Travis Etienne? Maybe Bigsby back in the fold a little bit, even if it is the Ernest Johnson. Do they somehow try to utilize the roster to get Hasty up and have more running backs? I can't imagine. I don't think they'll do that. I just don't understand how the numbers would play out to have 4 backs. But
you got to deactivate one.
I guess they could, or they're not deactivating Bigsby. And I think Johnson's too important to him on special teams right now. I really do.
I think you're right about both of those things. And I wouldn't deactivate Ernest Johnson. But if Tank's going to be all pro on the stand in their team or the decoy team, then activate JaMychal Hasty.
Yeah.
Because at the bare minimum, he's going to pass pro his butt off.
I get that, and I think like it's an okay thought. It's not an okay move by the head coach, I don't believe. I think it's a dangerous move.
They should hire me.
I think you go what happened in week 1 to really what happened in week 2, which was not a lot of usage at all and not giving him the ball, and then to a deactivation. I wouldn't do that. The bottom line is I don't think you need Hasty. I'm just saying get the ball to Etienne. I mean, we've trumpeted that most of the week. He's one of your playmakers, and the way to keep their pass rush a little bit at bay and help the offensive line is to be able to run the ball, and run it effectively would be nice, but even running the ball will do that.
Yeah, not only that, but their coverage grades are really good too. So another way to keep down the opportunity to get sacked by that front line when you get hung up in some of these coverage issues is to run the ball more against a pretty weak rushing defense of the Houston Texans.
So they so far not good against the rush?
At least on grade-wise. I'm pulling up the actual numbers themselves so Kasey doesn't get mad at me. But according to PFF, we're talking about a 52-8 in week 1, and then they downgraded that to a 29-7 against the Colts.
Well, their secondaries... There's
As a whole, 29.7 against the run?
As the team, their tackling grade's pretty putrid as
well.
well.
Activate the 4th back.
Just run them all at the same time.
play.
Oh, yeah, but here's the problem.
Go 4 backs.
A little bit of the problem for the Jags is pick your poison. I mean, their secondary is missing 2 guys.
Yeah.
Like, you can pick on Shaq Griffin if you think you can pick on Shaq Griffin, which I think they probably think they can pick on Shaq Griffin. And it's not just him, though. Petrie is out. Linebacker is out. Perryman. And who else is out?
Stingley, did you say that?
Yeah, so Stingley, Petrie, and Perryman on defense. And then Tavierre Thomas, also a broken hand. He's out. So, I mean,
But to that point,
outside of their front four, they're just okay. I mean, they're pick on them.
Team's been talking about letting the game come to them, the offense letting the game come to them. And, this is actually a great opportunity for that. If you know the run defense of the Texans is weak and you know they're hurting in the secondary, so you could take advantage of them either way, just draw the optimal game script that works for your team and execute it. Because it sounds like it's going to be a little bit easier against the Texans than it might have been against the Chiefs.
Well, you just said, hey, why talk about this all week? Just do what you do, right? And no, serious. That, I think, is the answer this week. I left Jags headquarters today, listened to Doug, and then you see some of the news come out of Houston where they're missing some of these players. And here's the thing. If the Jags, play their B game, they win the football game. They're just better. Like, sometimes you're just better than the other team. There's no way to overthink this. The Jags are better than Houston. They should be better than Houston. They are better than Houston. Now they just got to go play better than Houston.
Yeah.
And I understand it's sports, and that's the tricky part sometimes. But there's really, you can try to find a way. Like, I do this on Jaguars.com. It's like, if Houston will win if. I'm like, if what? Like, I don't know how they're going to win. I just scratched my head trying to think of that. I actually said Dameon Pierce goes for $120 or more, like he breaks out.
I feel like that's accurate.
Because if he does that, then
Jags aren't playing the defense they're supposed to be playing.
And you open things up for C.J. Stroud to feel comfortable. He's taken 11 sacks so far. Everybody's talking about the no interceptions, but he's taken 11 sacks. So it's not like he's doing everything correctly, or their offensive line's been beat up.
If Dameon Pierce is going for $120, it probably means the Texans aren't down by 30 in the second half.
Well, that's a good point, too.
Yeah.
So
I would be, again, there's no right or wrong answer. I would be stunned if they gave up anything close to that. Like, that's one thing we can talk about. Their defense, is it actually this good? You are convinced they're going to get turnovers all season because they've proven that for like a year and 2 games. I'm convinced they're going to stop the run, like all the time. Even without Devon Hamilton, when he comes back, that'll certainly help. I'm convinced they're going to do that all year. So that would shock me even more if Dameon Pierce were able to go for anything close to that. And I think the only way Houston wins is if they score on defense.
I'll go one further.
That's a good way to put it. That'd be a good way to do it.
If they're not stopping the run, then they're not playing Mike Caldwell football, because he has emphasized stopping the run this whole time.
That's a good point.
And if they're not doing that, they're not trading it up for sacks or pressures on the quarterback. So chances are it means they've been ineffective on defense for the day.
Kasey, you know what's wild? You just said that. And the Jags beat Indianapolis despite giving up a defensive touchdown.
True.
I mean, that's, again, to me, that shows you how much better you are than a team.
Maybe they have to score multiple times on defense.
And listen, we've seen the Jags on the other side of this, so it's easy to track. What I was trying to find, I can't get it to come up real quick. Come on, internet. I think the Chiefs had 101 yards rushing last week. But it was quiet.
Just one play.
It was, one play to Pacheco, but then you got a couple of Mahomes scrambles.
They had 144 in the playoffs last game against them.
Yeah, it was like 4.6 yards a carry. But again, I think Mahomes skews that. Okay, here it's coming up now. Let me see. Mahomes had, rushing-wise, Pacheco ended up with 12 for 70, Because, again, the 31.
But that one was like a 30-yard run.
I know, but even if you take that away, it was almost 4 yards a clip if you take that away. So he was still effective enough. He just didn't do it a lot. And then Mahomes was 7 for 30. So he had a 14-yard run.
What did Tony have?
There.
Didn't he have like a 8?
I had a 3. It was just a 3-yard run.
Was that a pass? Weird.
Well, didn't he have the one where he fumbled it? Was that a lateral or was that a forward pass? Now, it says 1 attempt for 3 yards, so he only got 3 on the play.
You know that play where he broke like 3 ankles? I thought that was a handoff. Remember that?
Yeah.
On the Jags sideline?
I don't exactly remember it.
It happened, trust me.
It did happen. But anyway, my point being is, yeah, if I think they're going to give it to Pierce more than 12 times, but if it's like a 70-yard rusher, that's fine. I wouldn't disagree with you. I think they are going pretty good against the run, because here's the deal. guys like Trayvon Walker, who people still aren't sold on, is good against the run.
Yep.
Right? They're very good in those categories. Josh obviously is good against the run. Their linebackers are good against the run. So some of the concerns that you have about their defense where it comes to pass rush don't have to do with the run. I think this is a team, and knock on wood here, that no longer is going to be a victim of not being in their proper gap and stuff like that because they've played together a while. They know the defense. They know where they should be. And it felt like early on last year there were some moments there they'd give up this jailbreak kind of run. And the only concern is some missed tackles, but I even feel like the Jags are tackling better already this year. They've had some. You're going to have some missed tackles. Remember, it was Pierce that embarrassed them last year with 6-7 tackles on the one run. So, yeah, I just you come back to it and just, listen, they're just better. It's okay to say that. They're just better. And I know they were better and they lost last year, but they were better late in the year, too, and they whooped them. Right?
Embarrassingly, yeah.
Last year, honestly, the Houston game last year was Kansas City game this past week. That's why they lost that game. They beat themselves. Gave up 400 and something yards and only 6 points, which, again, I get the Elias Sports Bureau on it. I can't imagine that's happened very often.
Not to beat a dead horse, but if you're going to be a playoff team going for a deep run, if you're going to be a Super Bowl hopeful, you can't have those games anymore.
No, you can't. Yeah, that's a good call. Especially against these
Texans,
teams, right?
Yes.
100%.
It's okay to do it once. It's 17 games.
Sure.
Kansas City didn't play well last week either. They got away with it.
Yeah.
But they really didn't play well.
That's the point, though, is they still won the game.
They did.
That goes in the win column, even though it was not a good game for them.
I'm not sure. I was thinking about that. It's a good point. I don't know if Jacksonville's there yet. I think there are some teams, like Patriots would do that all the time, it seemed. Didn't play well and then would win the game.
The Jags did
anyway.
it against the Colts week 1 where they didn't have a great game and they ended up with the win.
Yeah, that's good.
But they couldn't really pull it off against
very well
the
on defense
Chiefs,
that
though.
game, though.
They did.
So, yeah, I'm talking about a clunker and still win. This is a kind of team where you actually could do it against because I think you're that much better than them. I started to think of this today. How do you feel? I really started looking ahead. They got to win this game because in Atlanta and Buffalo, they're tricky. Those are tricky games. Those are not like
those are
saying.
Capable teams.
You don't feel unbelievable. But guess what? The Jags can beat them both.
Sure.
They really can. They can beat them both. And then you come back. Let's just say this, just to have a nice little sunshine and rainbows on a Friday. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, boy.
You go win the next 3. And all of a sudden, you're 4-1 with Indy coming to town.
So you're 5-1.
Maybe.
You have a very good chance to be 5-1. And I'd have to look it up, but I don't remember a Jags team that was 5-1. That. Can you get off to that kind of start? And so there's 2 ways to look at it. You build in the NFL season, right? The teams at the end are playing the best. You got to make it there, but those are the teams that win. Well, not all the time. When you're really good, teams like Philadelphia rolled off, what did they win? 11 in a row last year?
Yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah. 11-0.
And then they had a little stumble late, but then they picked it right back up and make the Super Bowl. Kansas City has been unbeatable in September during the Reid-Mahomes era. So they win, and then they maybe hit a lull somewhere, and then they get back up and cruise again. The Patriots kind of just won, and they did similar things. Occasionally a slow start. But overall, you looked up in early October, mid-October, and those football teams are 4-2, 5-1. Very few times are those football teams 3-3. It's not impossible to then get it cooking. Jags proved that last year. But again, these are just baby steps of how good is this football team? And how much, to me, those are signs that it shows that you're here to stay. Do they have to be 5-1 after Indianapolis? No. But I'll tell you what, being 4-2 would tell me a lot.
They should, in my opinion, they should be 4-2.
I would agree with you. They
Beat
should
Houston,
be 4-2.
beat Indy, split in London.
By my count, last time they were 4-2 was 07.
Well, that
That's
says
a long time ago.
That says it. Now, do you find 5-1 at all?
I
Do I have
not.
a 5-1? Do I have a 5-1? I doubt the 90, maybe 99. 99 must have been the one because it went 14-2. So any of those kind of records, I'm assuming, would have come from the 1999 season.
In 99, you start the year off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-1.
What
13-1.
What week did they lose?
They lost week 3 at Tennessee.
Of course,
Or
they lost
at
Tennessee
home.
both.
I'm sorry, at home.
So they were 2-0, 2-1, and then went on a 9-game win streak.
13-1,
Wow.
and then lose to the Titans again.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the year. because I obviously went 14-2.
Yeah.
Go 14-2, you win a lot of games.
I'll check in between those, though.
On ESPN 690, yes, almost all of them. We'll be right back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunshine with mild temperatures this afternoon and breezy in the 80s will drop off nicely tonight into the 50s and 60s. It's an 8 on the WOKV weather meter. Sunny and mild tomorrow. Your Saturday high will be near 85. Sunday, mostly to partly sunny. It'll be hotter with temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to around 90. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for 104.5 WOKV.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop and compare and save thousands at Beard's Diamonds.
Many of us enjoy being DIYers. Do you really need a financial advisor for retirement? Or can you just do that yourself too?
I wondered about that.
Well, it depends. Have the Talon Wealth team create a comprehensive financial plan personalized for you at no cost. Then you can compare what you're doing to what's possible with a team of fiduciaries on your side.
Okay.
Schedule now at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
Two roads diverged into a steamy, hot northeast Florida summer. One road led to a home AC system that's unreliable and inefficient. It was fated to fail swiftly. The other road led to a home that's efficiently and dependably cool. Its AC was a mechanical marvel, destined to be a lasting refuge against summer's scorching siege.
Time to take the road most traveled by your neighbors for over 60 years, Hammond Air Conditioning. Hammond is North Florida's most trusted authority for air conditioning services. And with Hammond, your home is never a learning opportunity for inexperienced techs. Hammond's veteran specialists understand how to make a system operate perfectly in our Northeast Florida heat. And they know how to extract all the potential from a modern high-efficiency system. That means they'll design a system perfect for you, one that fits to the temperature you want and will save you money on your electric bills. Right now, get a brand new high-efficiency system for as low as $70 per month, and that's with a 10-year warranty. Go to hammondair.com.
Hey poker players, get ready because the World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 26th through November 14th. It is your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play in, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and Mega Satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. Visit bestbetjax.com for the full World Poker Tour schedule and more information. That's bestbetjax.com.
The National Youth Advocate Program is now providing unique enhanced foster care services to the St. Johns County area to meet the needs of older youth and adolescents with emotional and behavioral challenges and those with specialized medical needs. For more information, please call 904-443-9240.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with Davoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
Hey, if you're like most people listening to this station, you like singing the Taylor and rhyming with Tyler. You love The Weeknd and listening to him too. At Community First Credit Union, we get that. And we get you, which is why we're here to help you live your best life by providing all the financial services you need, like free checking, an easy app, and digital payments. So just be yourself. Sing along to your favorite songs and come to Community First. CommunityFirstFL.org. Member NCUA.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
You don't even like your quarterback.
Kasey Kuhrts.
You don't even like your team.
And Aaron Schachter.
I don't even like myself, guys. Do you know me?
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
And we got Jag Social tonight, 7:30 on Fox 30. You can check it out. Coverage all weekend long with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, we've got coverage all over the place on the TV side, CBS 47 and Fox 30. We've got the Blitz Scoreboard Show tonight here on ESPN 690 and our social media channels. Last week, we showed you a good finish. So check out some of the live action from 9 p.m. until 10 p.m., and then we'll show you all the highlights and reaction on the TV side at 10:30 on the Friday Night Blitz on Fox 30. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts. We are locked in to another immaculate grid. You guys have got me hooked now. Just for this, just this time frame. Like, I never check this out. I don't do it at all. But Kasey brings one up, and then you lock me in. I do like it. I just don't do it on my own.
It's a fun concept.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sweating the most immaculate of grids. We have 2 spots left. Nothing more than 9%. The boys might have the most rare score in the history of the grid, but we need 2 names. If you know anything about the Cleveland Guardians, formerly the Cleveland Indians, and you know who may have played there that got 3,000 hits, and you're sure of it, we need to know. We need to know.
You're questioning my Al Kaline for Detroit.
It feels right, Brent. It does, but I'm thinking he's
like
500 home runs.
But you're talking me out of it. I feel like he might be a 3,000 hit, 500 home run guy.
There's not a lot of those.
Was he that goated?
Did Rod Carew play for the Tigers ever late in his career, or Indians?
That's a good question. I only think Angels, but
I think Twins.
There's somebody
Angels,
in
right?
there, yeah.
I wasn't alive.
Well, I don't remember exactly.
Sorry.
Really,
Believe it or not.
whittling it down, aren't you?
3,000 for Yankees could have been Ichiro. I bet that was.
Oh, that's a good one.
Did you already put your Yankee in?
Boggs, yeah.
Oh, you put Boggs.
Boggs was still a good one.
Yeah.
Way better than Jeter and Rod.
Screw Boggs.
Yeah, you weren't happy with that.
Who are you more mad at, Clemens or Boggs? It would be Clemens if I was a Yankees fan.
Nah, it's Boggs.
Why?
Because I was more of a Boggs fan growing up.
Wasn't Clemens came up with Boston?
Yeah, but Clemens. Right. Here's the deal. Clemens had a little bit of an out. One, he went to Toronto first, and that was all because of Dave Duquette, who said he was in the twilight of his career and didn't want to sign him.
He didn't realize that Raj was shooting up.
That's right. He didn't know. Not to say he was wrong, but he went and won however many games in Toronto, and then came over to the Yankees and did it. Did he win a Cy Young with the Blue Jays? I know he's very good one of the Blue Jays years. I don't know if he won a Cy Young
with the Blue Jays.
But people forget that. It wasn't just Red Sox and Yankees. In between, it was Toronto and did well. But, Boggs felt more like a traitor to me.
He did win the Cy Young.
The other thing is Boggs.
I thought so.
In Toronto, twice.
Yeah, I thought so.
Twice.
I remember that.
Back-to-back years.
This is the stuff that makes
For a guy who was in his twilight.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was literally the year after he left Boston.
Oh, my goodness.
He rents off 2 Cy Youngs. Duquette's like, my bad.
Boggs did feel a little bit more dirty.
It was traitory. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think did he only play 1 year or was it a lot more than that?
All I remember is seeing Boggs ride that horse around Yankee Stadium.
Right? That was painful.
Yeah.
Because Clemens didn't win with the Yankees.
I don't believe so.
I don't think he won a World Series. So maybe that's why it resonates more with me. But I was a big Boggs fan growing up.
He definitely lost one.
He also won 2 Cy Youngs with the Yankees.
When did he throw the bat at Piazza? Was that 01? Because they won that year.
They did? So Clemens
won?
Wait.
No, that wasn't 01. Was it?
I don't know.
When they lose to Arizona. That was 03. Yeah, it was 01. He won in 01.
Really?
I think. If that's when he threw the bat at Piazza.
Yeah, I don't know, but you're right. I watched Boggs play probably almost every game that he ever played in Boston as a kid. And the image that sticks out to me in Wade Boggs is
the stupid horse.
Is the horse. And, like, did he get his 3,000th hit?
With the Rays.
With the Rays.
Yep.
And that was like, did he kiss home plate or something?
He did.
Yeah, so it was
and
like
it was
that.
a homer. The seat is still gold in Tropicana Field. By the way, fact-checking myself, 03 was the Marlins the Yankees lost.
Okay.
So they did lose to Arizona in 01. When was the Subway? Was that 2000?
Subway was 2000.
I think you're right, 2000, yeah.
So then 2000.
They won that one, yeah.
I have the horse picture signed by Boggs if you want to buy it.
Clemens might have been.
No, I
can put it up in your house. I also have
don't.
the Boone home run signed if you want that one too.
What a duo.
Put them next to each other.
I mean, holy cow.
You would put it up on Martineau's wall of shame.
Yeah. I'd rather have the Boone one, though, because I was there for that.
I got you, buddy. You're not in the photo, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
I could have a dual signed Brent Martineau, Aaron Boone home run.
Man, hilarious. Clemens was washed, and then he wins Cy Young 4 more times.
Is that what he won?
Wow.
2 in a row with Toronto, and then 2 with New York, separated by 3 years.
Boy, those shots work.
You ain't kidding.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Amazing. What a time.
What a time.
It was fun.
Mickey Mantle would have never played for the Red Sox.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
I'm with you, man. Do you blame if you're a fan? If you're the Red Sox, do you get mad at them for signing a big time Yankee? Like if they would have signed Jeter, would you have been mad at them?
I probably would have got over it, but I wouldn't have loved it. Like I remember
Mets
when
signed Glavine, I hated it.
You know, they tried to get Rodriguez.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, it was Rodriguez, or at that time, I think it was Rodriguez or Yankees or Red Sox, right? I think they were in the mix.
When he left Texas,
Rodriguez only feels different because he came to the Yankees as a expensive free agent. Like he had been with 2 or 3 other organizations before. Clemens came up with the Red Sox, and it's like arch nemesis New York.
The best example right now would be if, like Judge, when he was a free agent and the Red Sox got him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, would you like? I'm like, yeah, probably would have learned to like him. And I already like Judge. Judge seems like a cool dude, so I've said that before. He's one of those Yankees that I think are hard to dislike, but it just doesn't feel right. Like Johnny Damon did it.
Johnny
like,
Damon,
whatever.
I feel like, is in the A-Rod category.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know.
Dude, Johnny Damon's like, less than 100 hits off 3,000, and he played for Cleveland.
Is he really?
He did play for Cleveland.
Yes. Yeah, he is.
That is the most shocking thing I've heard
He was
today.
actually super bad because he didn't want to retire, and nobody signed him after the Cleveland thing. He was so
just
close.
looking for 100 more hits.
Yeah,
10 more hits.
What's it like? Yeah, that's interesting how that happens in baseball, and I don't know if it matters in football. Like Arden Key went to the Titans, right? And you're like, okay. I mean, but Arden Key is not like a homegrown guy here.
It depends.
Also, not a big star.
If Trevor went to the Titans, there would be big.
Totally different.
Or
Totally
if Derrick
different.
Henry came here, which, by the way, he should retire here. He's from here.
What about like?
Well, on the Derrick Henry point,
what would have hurt the most is what I'm getting at.
we would accept Derrick Henry with open arms.
Of
would we not?
course. Of course.
So that's just like a Titans thing.
What Jag going to Tennessee would stab you in the gut?
I mean, right now it's Trev.
All time or right now?
No, all time. Freddie T.
Fred
Because
Taylor's
he went
in
to
there.
New England.
Yeah.
Mojo's in there. Brunell in his heyday would have been in there.
So all
Jimmy
of them.
Smith.
I mean,
Not all. Like Marcus Stroud and John Henderson, you would have been fine with these guys going where they went.
most recently, I'd say Wingard, to be honest. It was always the Jags, the ends of one. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
it would not be good, Brent.
Josh Allen. That
I think
would
about
hurt.
this
See
from a
him on the Titans next year.
totally different perspective. Like if Jalen didn't get traded to the Rams.
Oh, Jalen would have made me mad.
Because
I don't
you
think it
knew
would have
he was
hurt. I
good.
would have just been mad.
You do have to factor in how much they beat you up, too. Like, it's one thing if the third-string quarterback goes, who's beloved. It's another thing if, like, the starting all-pro, Pro Bowl corner goes and then tortures you for 2 games a season.
Yeah. I think in overtime, this gets saved a little bit because GMs are so unwilling to trade within divisions, sometimes within leagues and conferences, but within divisions. And so you don't really experience it a lot. Now, in today's world of free agency, it could come back like 2 times around later on, like a Clemens, say. Like Clemens goes to Toronto and then ends up in New York, which does feel a little bit different. If you're going right from one to the other, that feels different. So not to say...
How about when Curtis Martin left the Patriots, went to the Jets?
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, that was a good one.
And he raked with the Jets.
That's actually a pretty good one. That's one of the good ones.
But also one of the good ones in reverse is Belichick leaving the Jets, basically quitting 3 days into the job and signing on with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Does the coach? Is there a world where the coach, like I know Belichick's like the GOAT, so it does, but like I think the coach would get more heat than like the player.
Heat in what way?
Hate from the fan base.
Oh man,
if the coach is
we
good.
were all very mad, but more so because Parcells was like this anointed king who we got at the end of his career, and then he anoints Belichick. So the fan base is kind of lit up, even though they were sad Parcells was going away. And it was like, all right, we don't have to worry about it. His guy is here. And then it was a real middle finger. It was a real double tall man to the fan base when he was like, just kidding, I want nothing to do with this putrid team.
Like all of the players hurt in their own way, but like if Vrabel got blown out and Doug went there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little heartbreaking.
The one thing about the Jets thing was how it happened to, like, he obviously left him at the altar. One other thought on this. We haven't seen it yet in college football especially, but we're about to. Like, you could get a guy named, let's go, Trevor Etienne. And Trevor Etienne, he's off to a great start in his career. People love him at the Swamp. He looks like a very good player. And he says,
to Colorado.
I'm going to Georgia next year.
Oh.
You're going to get that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, now, the one caveat here, which you could use as a plus or minus to this, especially with the football guys, is they're probably getting taken care of NIL-wise. But guess who might have a little more change? The folks up in Athens.
That's true.
So I don't think we've seen that yet, but we certainly could see it. We're already starting to see players go from Florida to Florida State, or Florida State to Florida, Florida to Georgia, Georgia to Florida. But it's not that big of a deal until you get the star. And maybe it will take a quarterback to do it, but it's going to happen. That has never been a thing in college sports because of the transfer rule. Well, now that's out the window, and there's no ramification for it, and you are going to get it. I mean, listen, Bo Nix goes to Oregon from Auburn, but, like, if you went to Alabama, it would have been a whole different thing, right?
True. But now the Auburn fans are like, bro, you're good. It's been like 10 years since you left.
Well, but that would be even worse, right? It would be like if you go to Alabama and you're good.
Right.
And he wasn't what he was supposed to be at Auburn. Different animal.
He was not.
It's funny. I mean, you got to remember, guys, for a long, long time, this is why the Babe Ruth thing was such a big thing for so long, even though it was so long ago.
It always comes back to the grade.
Well, because for decades and decades, this didn't happen. Like, everybody now has grown up in a world of free agency where it's just a normal thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal. And so to go to play for your rival, like when I'm growing up, you ask me these questions about Clemens, even late 90s, early 2000s, or Boggs. Like, that's abnormal when we were growing up as a kid.
For sure. It didn't happen.
Especially to go to your rival.
Especially if you were a big star on those teams.
Now it's like LeBron, to me, is always this biggest one. Now, he doesn't necessarily go to the rivals, but it's still weird to me that a guy like LeBron James,
the GOAT,
has played for 3 different teams. Michael Jordan, fine. He played at the end for
the Wizards.
That's different. Larry Bird didn't. Magic Johnson didn't.
David Robinson.
A lot of these guys did.
Keep Olajuwon.
You keep them. Kobe Bryant was a Laker even in the more modern day, right?
Yeah.
For a long time. So that's it's hard to resonate.
Tim Duncan.
I mean, the list kind of goes on and on. It's hard to resonate with Steph Curry. Looks like he's going to stay a Golden State Warrior for his life, but Kevin Durant is a 3 different teamer.
Yeah.
Is it just 3?
4. More than that.
4.
Where is he now?
Phoenix.
Oh, 4. Yeah. I forgot
5
he's on
if you count the
Phoenix.
Sonics. He had 1 year with the Sonics.
I guess, yeah, he did get drafted to the Sonics. You're right.
They were still the Sonics when Durant. Gosh.
Yep.
His rookie card's in Sonics, though.
That one doesn't count as much.
Yeah.
But
we're counting.
I'm still trying to remember the name of these, like, old 1900s Cleveland guys.
Yeah, not very many of them.
Guys,
no, but
we gotta
like, there's all right. I can't. I'm just going to sit here.
Just Google it.
No.
How bad do you want to cheat? You want to cheat?
We're not cheating.
Come
Guys,
on.
we can do this.
We can
cheat.
do it.
It's a weird
Brent
thing to
Friends on
change.
ESPN 690. We'll be back.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. We'll have 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. All you have to do is enter the correct keyword at ESPN690.com to be eligible to win. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. ESPN 690 pays your bills. Sponsored by Arlington Toyota with over 800 new and used vehicles available. Weekdays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 and 5 p.m. Tune in to win from ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back for the fall semester at UNF. The Ospreys swoop into the fall with a busy schedule. Soccer, cross country, volleyball, and swimming. The ASUN just announced swimming and diving as a sponsored sport now. They will compete in ASUN play. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. Men's and women's basketball schedules are out as well, so you can get your season tickets for the basketball schedule right now. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFospreys.com. And swoop with the Ospreys all season.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house, for the closing, for handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. And realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Back to college, back to the gym, or back-to-back meetings. Cosmic Vibe, Oasis Vibe, Fantasy Vibe, Arctic Vibe, Peach Vibe. Northeast Florida is getting back into the routine with Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with Davoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County, or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. FantasyCardBreaks.com.
Hey guys, it's me, Pete the Job Guy. You know you listen to my show every weekend, but listen, if you need staffing assistance of any kind, you call the good folks at Ascendo Resources. My co-host Angie Langlois and I'm Pete Langlois, or Pete the Job Guy. Just reach out to me, Pete at PeteTheJobGuy.com, and I can guarantee you there hasn't been a qualified candidate genocide. We know where they're at, and we can fill your open jobs. Ha ha!
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. Main office, Jacksonville.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's Twin Tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it, have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Connecticut K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier Softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase Certainty through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690. Tris Speaker. I'm pretty sure he was an Indian. And he had to have over 3,000 hits.
Tris Speaker is what we're going to lose on.
Why aren't there more names like Tris? That's a good name.
That really was like a one and done, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a good name.
Parents were like, we've made a horrible mistake, everybody. Please don't do this for your kids.
Tris Speaker.
Oh, boy.
Played from 1907. This is BM01, by the way.
Okay.
To 1928.
Oh, he definitely, like I said, he's a 3,000 hit machine.
He's definitely up there. I just don't know if he played for the Indians.
There's no way to know if he played for the There's we're never. Also,
were the Indians even called the Indians in
think about
1907?
that. Did they exist?
I have no idea.
I think they did, though, because it's been it was like over 100 years. You know, every time they bring it up, where they hadn't won or they were in the World Series.
Case, I believe in miracles, man.
I believe in miracles.
Is there an obvious one we're missing? There's not.
We just went through that whole really good Cleveland team, from Bell to Baerga.
Was Olerud on that Cleveland team, or was he a Blue Jay? Now, I know he doesn't have it, but I'm talking about that team.
He was a Blue Jay.
I don't think he was.
No. Tomey was on that team. Albert Bell was on that team.
Tomey would be one of the closest. We mentioned Kenny Lofton.
Manny Ramirez was on that team. Kenny Lofton was on that. This is a good Cleveland team.
Really good.
The catcher was good, too.
The scale.
Catcher was Sandy Alomar.
Sandy Alomar.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they were very good.
They were very
good for a long time.
But none of them boys got 3,000, unless Alomar does.
I don't think Alomar does. In fact, I just don't think he is. Again, you were telling what you remember about the modern day guys is if they had a ceremony for it.
I remember
it's a big deal.
Roberto Alomar spitting at an ump.
That's what everybody remembers, which is crazy. Like, he's a really good player, and that's like the thing. I guess that's what moments like that do to you.
Pretty sure he was a Met when he did it.
He played for quite a bit with the Mets, though, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next to Ray Ordonez.
Gosh, I hated those
Ray
Cleveland
Ordonez.
Indians.
Now, Ray Ordonez, whatever the opposite of 3,000 hits is, that's what Ray Ordonez got. He's got 3, career.
Oh, no.
Ray Ordonez. He can play till
That's
he's
a great
70.
name, though. That was a good pull right there.
Yeah, he was
Keep
fast,
that for
too.
the Immaculate Grid at some point.
We'll need that one.
I don't know who else he played for.
If we ever get a Mets bums category, we'll throw it in.
Man, we're just going to stare at this Cleveland hole until you put something in there, huh? We'll just leave it open?
I guess.
Man, Doug would be disappointed.
Doug?
Yeah, he commented on it.
Commented on what?
On our Immaculate Grid play this week, Case.
Doug Mankiewicz?
No, Doug Pederson.
Oh.
Doug Mankiewicz. What a pull. That's an Immaculate Grid legend. Doug Mankiewicz.
Yeah, Doug Mankiewicz kept that Red Sox 2004
Shoot up by the
ball
dog.
in the back pocket. Did you want to get to a Doug soundbite or something?
I mean, we could. We got a bunch of them.
We're about to go to break.
We're about to go to break.
I mean, we'll do it at 4 o'clock.
All right.
It's coming up.
So we are going to go back to the show.
Well, maybe. We're really trying to solve this Immaculate Grid. You got us all locked in.
It's definitely going to be one of these old dudes.
I can't believe nobody's helping us. Nobody on YouTube?
We've got it. Nobody. We've got to, I mean, they're there.
We've
They're
got
watching.
nobody.
No, they're watching. They're just not talking because nobody likes baseball, Brent. I'm not sure if you know this.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody likes
we
baseball.
spent like 20 minutes talking
It's
about
just
it.
too
Thanks to
hard
this
not to.
Immaculate Grid.
But we do need to bring this game to the air in some way where we incentivize people helping out. If they get one right, they get a prize or something like that.
We will give you something if you give us a Cleveland Guardian with 3,000 hits. I don't know what.
I don't
We'll
know
give
what's
you something.
around here.
What if we did the Brent and Friends Immaculate Grid where it's like MMA and Action Sports Jacks and you get Austin Lane, or something like that.
That'd be good.
That would be fun.
We could
There's
probably
only
make that
one.
work.
100%.
Yeah, it's the only one. You don't think I'm an MMA fighter, Brent?
Or 0% if they're new to the show.
Let's take a break. Hopefully you are having a great Friday. It's a beautiful day in Jacksonville, isn't it? A little cool side.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, you didn't go outside again?
No.
You used the teleport thing from your car to the station?
Yes.
I mean, you really missed out today, man.
Apparently.
Go outside. Go walk outside today. You'll do wonders.
I'll leave it to the day dwellers.
You might be able to get a fire going tonight at home.
Ooh.
What?
That means it's going to be in the 60s. That's Florida fire weather.
Good.
We'll be back. We will hear from Doug Pederson, talk a little more Jags. We've got our picks still to come, and a big night of high school football ahead. Week 5 of the high school football season. We're back on ESPN 690. Car Bravo is here at Nimnik Buick GMC, a better way to shop used vehicles with transparent pricing. Nimnik Buick GMC is the only Car Bravo dealer in Northeast Florida. And with Car Bravo, it doesn't matter what used vehicle you're looking for because they certify all makes and models. And for a limited time, save an additional $500 when you purchase a Car Bravo certified vehicle at Nimnik Buick GMC. It's a win-win. You always win at Nimnik Buick GMC. Experience used-phoria with Car Bravo online at NimnikBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Are you a real estate investor or have considered investing and want to know where you can put your money that offers solid returns and protects against market volatility? It's Rich Jones. I want to introduce you to DLP Capital, CEO and founder Don Wenner.
For more than a decade, DLP Capital has delighted our investors with consistent double-digit returns. Through the smart, conservative real estate investment strategy our company is built on, we have been able to achieve this with monthly distributions and tax shelters so our investors can keep more of their returns.
Dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Two roads diverged into a steamy, hot Northeast Florida summer. One road led to a home AC system that's unreliable and inefficient. It was fated to fail swiftly. The other road led to a home that's efficiently and dependably cool. Its AC was a mechanical marvel, destined to be a lasting refuge against summer's scorching siege.
Time to take the road most traveled by your neighbors for over 60 years. Hammond Air Conditioning. Hammond is North Florida's most trusted authority for air conditioning services. And with Hammond, your home is never a learning opportunity for inexperienced techs. Hammond's veteran specialists understand how to make a system operate perfectly in our Northeast Florida heat. And they know how to extract all the potential from a modern high-efficiency system. That means they'll design a system perfect for you, one that fits to the temperature you want and will save you money on your electric bills. Right now, get a brand new high-efficiency system for as low as $70 per month, and that's with a 10-year warranty. Go to hammondair.com.
Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine are paying out over $640,000 this month in poker promotions. There will be exciting high-hand specials and no-limit hold'em tournaments all month. Catch Insta Paydays and game day promos at St. Augustine, $300 early bird specials at Orange Park, $500 Fridays at Jacksonville, and much more. Enjoy the best in poker and card games at Best Bet. For more information, visit bestbetjacks.com.
Welcome back for the fall semester at UNF. The Ospreys swoop into the fall with a busy schedule. Soccer, cross country, volleyball, and swimming. The ASUN just announced swimming and diving as a sponsored sport now. They will compete in ASUN play. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. Men's and women's basketball schedules are out as well, so you can get your season tickets for the basketball schedule right now. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFospreys.com. And swoop with the Ospreys all season.
Grab an ice-cold can of Celsius Peach Vibe and experience a refreshing blast of sparkling white peach. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks are the perfect way to beat the heat all summer long. Find Celsius Peach Vibe at a retailer near you or visit Celsius.com to learn more.
Denise is a Pilates instructor and a small business owner.
And a mom, too.
And at Community First, we get that. We get you.
So you can just be yourself.
To get the financial services you need, learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Left-hander Max Fried of the Braves goes on the injured list today with a blister on his left index finger. The team is hoping Fried will be ready to go when the Braves open the playoffs in the divisional round. Panthers rookie quarterback Bryce Young will miss 1 to 2 weeks with an ankle sprain. Andy Dalton starts Sunday's game against the Seahawks in Seattle. After a loss last night, the New York Giants are now 1-2. Did they make a mistake giving quarterback Daniel Jones a big contract? ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum says yes.
Well, you're paying $40 million a year, and you're on a short week, and you're missing your left tackle, your left guard, your running back. Show greatness. Make those around you better. And by the way, he's getting paid 40 times more than the other quarterback, and he was outplayed by Brock Purdy.
Mike Tannenbaum on Get Up. Commanders tight end Logan Thomas out Sunday against the Bills with a concussion. Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces is the WNBA Defensive Player of the Year for the second year in a row.
When it comes to hiring, you don't need to be doing all the searching, screening, and interviewing yourself. What you need is Indeed, the end-to-end solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome back. 4 o'clock hour we go here on ESPN 690. We are still stumped by the Indians' 3,000 hit guy.
We don't know what to do.
Shout out to Josh G, though, for the suggestion. He
Yeah,
says
this
Eddie
might
Murray.
He might be. Did he play
I like
for
that
Cleveland?
one. I think he did. I know he played for, he played for the Mets, but he played for...
Orioles for a long time.
Did he play for the Angels, too? Eddie
I think
Murray?
he did. I think he did.
I think he was an Indian.
We got to type something.
We got to do something. I'm
right.
telling you, man, Tris Speaker, you pulled Tris Speaker. I can see the C.
But I
Now,
feel
is that
like
C
he's
for
an
Cincinnati? Is that
angel
C
or
for the
something.
Cubs? Or is that C
I don't
for
think
the
I don't think it
Indians?
was the Cubs. I really don't. My dad's a Cubs fan. It would have came up.
It would have came up.
Well, he'd be telling me about some double.
Son,
you should have seen this guy in 1907.
Son, put down the Game Boy. I need to talk to you about the birds, the bees, and Tris Speaker.
All right.
That sounds like a line right out of Field of Dreams.
Here's what we're going to do. Here's what feels like the right move. Wait, Field of Dreams. Who was on the field?
Kevin Costner played for the Indians.
Well, he tried to get you to go Shoeless Joe Jackson. I'm like, dude, he got
banned,
barred from the game. Like, how could he have got the 3,000 hits?
Who said it in the chat?
This is Josh G with the suggestion. Eddie Murray's a good one.
If we take Josh G's suggestion, and he's right, we give him something.
Yeah.
And if we lose, we can blame Josh G, and we all don't feel like losers.
I really rather blame you.
I don't know if I want to blame him.
Yeah. All right. I like the plan we've got, though.
You can blame me if it's Tris Speaker, though. You like that?
All right, let's take a vote. What are we saying? Brent, what do you pick?
I don't remember Eddie Murray with the Indians, and he's like a little more in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, he was around the time.
We have to vote.
But Josh probably Googled it and found out. So he might be right.
I don't want to use a Google thing. Josh, did you Google it?
I'm going Tris Speaker.
Aaron, what's your pick?
I'm going Eddie Murray.
Oh, my God.
It's on you, baby.
Come on, Case. Deciding vote.
Hey, don't forget to stop by the Duval House on Sunday.
What do you got going on there?
For a little Celsius.
Ooh.
Celsius Essential Energy Drink. Stop by and get a free one.
20 years for Eddie Murray.
That was a long time. I think he
hitter,
was a
bro.
3,000 hit guy.
He's a hitter.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Maybe.
He would have to be.
He's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
If we don't know that for sure, we can't do this. Because he has to be. There's no, besides A-Rod, there's none that aren't in.
Eddie Murray sounds like the name I would call Eddie Murphy if we were talking about him on the show.
I've come up big for you this week, just to let you know.
Tris Speaker played from 1907
till 2005.
1928. Is Brent going to come through for us?
All right, let's see.
Are you using this
typing
one?
it in? Come on, let's go. We're having a moment. Yeah!
He did it!
He did it! That was a combo one. That was a combo. You came up with a name.
Nice.
I tell you, that
Little
old
teamwork.
baseball card is staring me at the face, and then Kasey finally pulled the
Little teamwork.
Cheesecake Factory menu trigger.
Guys, this is crazy. There's only 4 people for Cleveland that did it, and 3 for the Tigers.
All right. Do you know them?
Nobody would have guessed that, by the way. The Tigers have way better players, like in the history, it feels like.
I'm looking
Bigger
up Eddie
names.
Murray.
You would have thought they had so many more
All
guys.
right, wait a
that hit
minute.
3,000.
Wait a minute. Don't look up Eddie Murray. I had some in front of me.
Okay.
Who was our listener?
Josh G.
Josh was right.
Really?
Eddie Murray, right?
Murray
Eddie
played
Murray.
for the
Yeah,
Indians.
I'm pretty sure I
We'll
saw
send
him in
a
that
hat.
dark blue jersey in my
Also,
head.
We'll send Josh a hat.
Get this.
Call
Our-
the show and send us your address, Josh.
Murray.
Or just send us a DM
I'm
or
sure
a text.
Or whatever.
Shout Beach Gary was yelling about Eddie Murray.
Napola Joy,
Oriole fan.
also a Cleveland Indian.
He did have 3,000. You were right.
So Tris Speaker and Napola
You
Joy?
got 2.
You mean I solved this thing 3 times?
Guys, Dave Winfield, also.
4 times?
He got them all. Did you look it up? You have Google over there.
No, I mean, I do have Baseball Reference open on Eddie Murray, but that's it.
By the way, Brent, Al Kaline, 3,007 hits.
Just me.
Wow.
First of all, you said Dave Winfield, Brent, so you got that one.
I said that.
No, I didn't say
that. Josh G said Eddie Murray, but I'll own Nap LaJoy and Tris Speaker.
Nap
I didn't know they were
LaJoy,
both
that's a heck of a
Indians.
poll, man.
Wow.
How good were the Indians back in the 1700s?
Apparently they were killing it.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh, man.
What a rush. Also, Alomar's not on here.
How many did he have?
We didn't have it.
I don't know, but he's not.
There you go. A little baseball knowledge for you today on Immaculate Grid. Although the folks are calling for a little football Immaculate Grid, they feel like they can give us a little more help.
Yeah,
My
I feel
heart
like they can
is
too.
pounding, man.
Your heart is pounding.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Alomar.
Like you think you actually won something here.
Alomar had
The only one that won anything is Josh. You gotta have-
2,724 hits. 2,700.
So what? Okay, here's a question about the Immaculate Grid because I haven't done this.
Wow.
So this is like a great grid you just did, right? You think?
It was decent.
Oh, it ended up just being decent?
No, it was good.
It was good because the rarer the guy, the better
Our
the
rarity
grid.
score is 66.
Yeah.
So what's like the highest you've ever had?
I had like 14 one time.
Wow.
Because it was like the Rays and the Pirates crossed, and I know the Rays and the
Sometimes the Immaculate Grid will
so
give
it's
you.
low, this is like golf, so you want a lower score.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll give you a hookup where instead of giving you just teams, there'll be like one row of teams and then one row of Cy Youngs, one row of like Silver Sluggers or something like that.
But like we had a point, well, I had a .04 in this one. Brennan Bosch, shout out the former Yankee and Red.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I don't even know that name.
That is pretty good. Well, that's fun, but check out the DeVoley's House of Cards and Fantasy Card Breaks. You actually can win something.
Holy cow. I'm fired up,
I need
boys.
something like if you finish in like whatever the 1 millionth percentile, then you should win something from Immaculate Grid.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not satisfied doing like Wordle and Immaculate Grid just to say that I think I'm smart.
I'll tell you what, I'd be satisfied with no prize but a ranking, a leaderboard. Where do I rank versus all the other scrubs?
That's not bad.
No, but none of them do that.
This one doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah. So like the old like BW3 trivia thing, right? Where you were like, there are 1 million people playing and you ranked like 3,000.
Yeah, I want to know that.
150th.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
why
make
not?
a T-shirt.
Side
and
note,
stuff. Yeah.
did Allen Robinson ever play for the Rams, or was he just there?
He did play.
He did play.
All right, we're off to a good start in the football one, boys.
How many of these a show do you do? I mean, you got to pay
All of
attention to the
them.
rest of the show.
No, he doesn't.
No. Well, he's going to have to play cuts here for you, all right?
All right.
Let's do that. Doug Pederson talking today about the tight end room.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting one. Evan Ingram's playing well.
Really well.
I think Luke Farrell, they said kind of the word out of August was keep an eye on Luke Farrell. He might do something. He really hasn't done much in the first 2 weeks that you noticed. Brenton Strange, I thought he did some good things in week 1. Didn't really notice much in week 2. Do like this tight end room, and I think we'll see more from them as we go along. Right now, the mainstay and the most important guy in that room is Evan Ingram. Here's cut 1, Doug Pederson on the tight end room.
Huh.
Or not.
Looks like the preview stack no longer works on my wide orbit.
Oh.
So we're going to have to call somebody and see if they can get that to work. But here's cut 1, Brent. Sorry about
Brenton
that.
is still learning the offense. We're cautious with him just a little bit, but still being able to move him around, give him a little bit more each week, and then you just trust, you trust Luke and Evan, just 2 veteran guys that have played, and it does give you some versatility, which is good for our offense.
I thought the comment was interesting because it starts off with Brenton. I think that's where the question was really focused. What have you thought so far? What are your expectations for the guy? I mean, as a rookie tight end, with a guy like Evan Ingram in front of you, you're probably not going to see much time this season.
Well, I think he's actually played. I don't know what his snap count is, but I feel like he's on the field quite a bit. Obviously, when they use a multiple tight end set, and he can be a player in the passing game for them too. In fact, we've seen him open on a couple of different plays in the first 2 weeks, so that might be a good sign. Again, I like this guy. I like their tight end room. I just wonder how it's going to evolve. I wondered this all last year with Dan Arnold, but this is different. I get the Dan Arnold thing. Ingram was too important to take off the field. It was a little one-dimensional with a guy like Arnold, even though he wanted to be a good blocker, but he was more pass catcher. Now you got 2 guys in that room backing up Ingram that can do both things, so you can hide it and smoke and mirrors it a little bit more, and we'll see if the Jags utilize it as this season goes along. And let's see if Zay Jones plays or not this Sunday. This might be one of those options where hey, now you can get that other tight end involved a little bit because you might take a receiving option off the field.
If you had to guess, do you think by the end of the season, Brenton Strange works his way up that depth chart a little bit, or is this pretty much where you think it'll be for the season?
Yeah, I think he's kind of there. I don't know how many different varieties of snap counts you can get him without injury.
Yeah.
The bigger question there is how many catches? Like over-under catches. Again, I'll go back to Arnold. I think he had 9 last year.
9 was the number for
It was
Dan
9.
And that was underwhelming. I think we were expecting a bit more.
Oh, my gosh. Still can't get over it. But these guys don't have any so far. So we're 2 games in and none.
Yeah.
So maybe 9.5 is the number. Did they get to double digits? Anybody else but Evan Ingram from the tight end position, again, given health.
A couple of other updates given at Doug Pederson's press conference. This one about Cam Robinson. We know that Cam Robinson is allowed back in the building. Doug going into what we can expect to see out of Cam over the next couple of weeks until he's allowed back on the field.
Attitude's been great. He's excited to get back in the building, which he's allowed to do. He can be around the team. He can be in meetings. He just can't practice. Just can't be out on the practice field. So, or at walkthroughs, things of that nature. But be in meetings, be around the guys, which is good for him, and it's great to see him back.
And the league did give them an exception. They will be taking Cam Robinson to London as his return splits the 2 games there.
Yeah, I thought that part was interesting. Some of the logistics around London, that's one of them, because he's eligible to come off in their second week against Buffalo. So they're going to bring Cam Robinson, obviously, to all these things. It's also wild to me that he couldn't be in the building, and then last week he could be in the building, and now he can be in meetings and all this stuff, but he can't be on the field. Just odd when you're suspended like that.
Isolation, yeah.
In part, I don't understand it. Like, why do you have to be away for the first couple then? Maybe I understand that you can't be on the field, but my guess is they want to help acclimate these guys back so they don't injure themselves and everything
What does that
else.
have to do with going to meetings, though?
Well, just the treatment, food, meetings, all that stuff. Like, I get that they can't go on the field. I just don't understand why you wouldn't have been able to do that from the jump, the every other part of it. So it's just a wild protocol when those things happen.
It's a little bit different.
And the logistics of the whole Cam Robinson, Devon Hamilton looks like that isn't going to be a thing. He's going to be out for past Buffalo, and they're not even going to take him to London, says Doug Pederson. But because they're staying there for 10 days, when guys get hurt or if a guy gets cut or added, the logistics of that is kind of fascinating at how they have to plan for it. And that was pretty telling that they actually got an exemption from the league to be able to travel with them to London.
Does that mean they take the whole practice squad? Because if you elevate somebody.
I think they do.
Huh.
Now, what's interesting is the reason I pause there is because I haven't been in a few years to London. And so bringing 7 guys when it was 7 is one thing. Now it's obviously up to 16. So, but yeah, I think they do for that purpose. Because also you got to remember now, the way the practice squad is, it probably impacts the way they're practicing a little bit and preparing for games in terms of the numbers that they have. So, yeah, you would definitely be bringing them over. I might be speaking out of turn, but I'm pretty sure that's yes.
And Joe, I was just curious if maybe the owner has a second flight that's smaller than whatever they charter for the team, where some of these changes maybe mid-trip need to happen. You can kind of bus one back and forth at least once.
Yeah. Well,
back and forth.
Well, I think we don't
Basically
know.
what it is. You're commuting to another country.
The simple 15-hour flight.
Here's the thing. We don't
hop
know.
over the pond.
This is the first time. First time anybody's done it.
And you did mention Devon Hamilton. The coach did have something to say on him. Cut 3.
Devon's getting closer, to getting back out on the field. He's been lifting and working out and conditioning and all of that. Still has his line in right now. So hopefully the next week or two that comes out. But as far as, the London trip, probably not going to take him. I just want to keep him here so there's no setbacks. We're in a different part of the world, obviously, and want to keep things pretty consistent around him right now because he's on a good track, for getting back soon.
Coach says he wants to keep it consistent, but doesn't it sound to you like they don't want to risk aggravating the thing in the flight?
I think we mentioned this earlier this week. I think there's a lot going on here with Devon Hamilton. We still don't know exactly what's going on. He mentioned like a line.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
What does that even mean? And I think it's got to do with the recovery process to some degree. But if there's something still there, it doesn't appear like he's close. I think the fact that they would leave him here instead of London says two things. He's not close.
Because Doug says the literal opposite at the end of that.
And the other part is, yes, if it's a back injury, taking an 8-hour flight anywhere is probably not ideal.
Not ideal.
From a recovery standpoint. So they
long flight to then go get matched.
The thing about Devon Hamilton is, like, after 4 games, he's technically eligible to come off, but they obviously don't think that would happen in the 5 game, which is smart. I mean,
at what point do you, as a fan, not you as a reporter, start to worry that Devon may be lost for the season?
I think with sound bites like this from Doug and some of the updates that we've had from the last month of, hey, a lot better in the building today, you know, I don't get that sense.
Okay.
I don't get that sense. And I think they could have maybe already, if they thought that, or doesn't mean they can't do it, but I think there would be a more drastic move. Here's the other thing, and we did discuss this. Everybody thought that was the biggest problem going into this season is Devon Hamilton's out. That's like the biggest impact player that's not going to be there right away. Well, they've been very good on defense. They've been very good against the run. I'm not telling you they don't miss him. They would just be enhanced by his presence once he comes back, but it's not crushing their football team. So the longer you can wait and say, hey, we're doing all right without it. Gotts is doing a good job.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you give more and more time to recover and recuperate instead of rushing back because you're like, hey, this is cool. Like, we got this guy under contract for a long time. This isn't just about the next month. This is about this year. This is about the next few years with Devon Hamilton. And it's obviously something significant enough because the situation's been very quiet. But again, I think there's good news on this front. I'll also give you another update. Devon Hamilton's scheduled to join us Monday from Sneakers Jags Report Live.
Wow.
No, he's
Very
not.
cool.
He's not. That's what I'm saying. He was scheduled to, but he won't be.
Okay.
So, well, what that shows me is he is not.
We're really excited.
He is not on the verge of coming back. He's also probably not comfortable yet speaking about whatever it is he's coming back from.
Or like if he's got to be hooked up to machinery, that's probably not something he wants on television
because
either.
We had this scheduled even when he was on IR. So, like, I think there was a thought that, okay, by this time we'll be kind of back
so
on
does
the
that give
cusp.
you a pause?
Again, I think the Jags, because of the way the schedule lines up in this 4-game suspension for Cam, this 4-game IR situation, well, it's really 5 games for the Jags because their 5th game ends in London. So they've got this extra game to play with, depending on how they feel. Like, do they have to rush? Cam Robinson will be interesting here. We talked about this just the other day. If their line starts to play well, do they play Cam Robinson against Buffalo in his first game in London when he's been on the practice field for like a week?
We'll see out there.
Do they need to do that?
Left tackle.
But what if they're playing well?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I know, but Kasey, what if they're playing well? You're going to mess up the chemistry?
Left tackle.
All right.
We'll see you out there.
Well, their left tackle right now is playing pretty well.
He's the only guy playing
He's the new right tackle. Come on down. Slide over. Do your thing.
So it's just an interesting situation. Again, I think London presents this. That's what's kind of
These
fascinating.
are some of the challenges you have when you talk about having to traverse an entire ocean to go play a football game or two.
And stay there.
Yeah.
Like the difference here is the staying there.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll see where it lands.
But the challenge this weekend, Brent, has nothing to do with London. It's got all to do with Houston. And we've talked a lot about the defense and the different parts of the defense that look good, but Doug Pederson today talking about some of the challenges maybe the Texans offense might present to the team. It's cut 4.
We know they got a really good, run game, a couple running backs that can get after you. Obviously, the quarterback is athletic and he throws the ball well. It's how they use their quarterback, by not giving him a ton right now, but at the same time letting him use his athleticism. There's still going to be a mistake or two made here and there, but they've sort of minimized some of those. You got to stay extremely disciplined. That's why, I keep talking about the things that we do and how we approach it. Both sides of the ball, just staying locked into the game plan and just doing your job.
Masterclass and not saying much while saying a lot. Masterclass. He's like, man, C.J. Stroud is looking great there. They don't give him too much, but boy, does he do a lot. All right.
You know what's interesting when they had those sound bites happen? I'm like, well, if it was Tom Brady, you could say everything you wanted under the sun about his greatness. Mm-hmm. They obviously don't know how good this kid is yet, right? The kid's had some good moments. He's also vulnerable behind an offensive line that's not great. He's probably prone to forcing into mistakes sooner or later, you would think. He's thrown no interceptions. So I think he's dancing around that like, yeah, kind of can't wait to play him.
Yeah, guys, we hope to trip him up. That's the game plan. Game plan's confuse the snot out of him.
Rather play him than the guy we played last week.
That's true.
But how do you answer that?
Just once. This is why you look forward to a guy like Deion Sanders eventually going to the NFL. Because that'll be the press conference, right? Yeah. Oh, that guy's garbage. We're not worried. You'll see that finally. And speaking of finally, Case, Doug acknowledging the week we're having here with the Immaculate Grid. He was asked, it was like, are you happy with Aaron and Kasey and now Brent's effort this week on Immaculate Grid? It's cut 5.
Yeah, it's been a lot better.
Yeah,
guys have had a couple good days here, and
we have.
I have. We're still obviously working through.
Yeah.
I think the dynamics of everything.
I really screwed it up yesterday.
It's been a good week.
Yeah,
we've been working on the dynamics of everything for over a year.
It's been a good week.
Doug's right
on the grid.
Today was the highlight.
I messed it up yesterday.
And by the way, we need some help in the break.
Oh boy. You got any feelers you want to put out there now?
So Kasey walks in and you have this on the cut sheet. I didn't even see that. I didn't get that far down.
That's not even what I was talking about.
Yeah, you were. Oh, so we were talking.
I'm talking about the header.
Me too.
That's what the header.
I wasn't sure what you were laughing about.
I don't type these things. Someone else does. What does it
He's
say?
printed out 1,000 ESPN articles with this same header, and I was like, "Why is there a header on the cut sheet?" Man of the year, Aaron Schachter.
Well, you have to attribute it to somebody.
I didn't even see the Immaculate Grid cut until like 5 minutes ago.
Who attributes that stuff to anybody?
It's a Friday, guys. We're having fun.
Yes, we are. You can have fun over on the campus of the University of North Florida. UNFOspreys.com. Here's your swoop minute. Men's cross country defeats Florida, Georgia Tech, and other teams to win the Mountain Dew invite. Hopefully Mountain Dew for everybody. UNF's cross-country event, September 15th, marked the 40th year of cross-country at UNF. First ever UNF athletics event was September 17th, 1983. A little date in history. Men's soccer set for the River City Rumble at JU, September 23rd. First one of the year. And Media Day for men's and women's basketball about a month away now. And you know what that means. Get your season tickets for men's and women's basketball. UNFOspreys.com for your tickets, for all your news, schedules, and results. Swoop with the Ospreys all year long. UNFOspreys.com.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunshine with mild temperatures this afternoon and breezy in the 80s will drop off nicely tonight into the 50s and 60s. It's an 8 on the WOKV weather meter. Sunny and mild tomorrow. Your Saturday high will be near 85. Sunday, mostly to partly sunny. It'll be hotter with temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to around 90. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for 104.5 WOKV.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop and compare and save thousands at Beards Diamonds.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's Twin Tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it. Have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Connecticut K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier Softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer, Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Grab an ice-cold can of Celsius Tropical Vibe and experience a refreshing blast of starfruit pineapple. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks are the perfect way to beat the heat all summer long. Find Celsius Tropical Vibe at a retailer near you or visit Celsius.com to learn more.
This is Ortho Health Insights, tips for life in motion, brought to you by the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Upwards of 80% of people will experience some sort of back or neck pain and say it interferes with their daily activities in life. Back and neck pain can often improve with self-care. A steady routine of cardio exercise, like walking, has been proven to reduce back and neck pain. Also, working on improving your quality of sleep and posture can help. A restful night's sleep on your back can help you feel less sore during the day. If you are experiencing chronic back or neck pain and it is caused from an injury or an accident, the orthopedic physicians at JOI are experienced in diagnosing the cause and treating your pain. Whether you need a course of physical therapy or surgery, JOI can help. Call 904-JOI-2000. That's 904-JOI-2000. Or go to JOI.net. JOI is the official sports medicine provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Plus, right now, buy a DeWalt Power Stack battery kit and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free, up to a $249 value. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29. Subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
ESPN Plus Originals and Anscape presents.
I am Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. I am known as a scholar and anti-racist author. It's up to all of us to confront the racism in society and our favorite sports.
A roundtable discussion and analysis exploring the intersection of sports, race, and society.
Because we all have skin in the game.
ESPN Plus Originals and Anscape presents Skin in the Game with Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. All episodes now streaming on ESPN Plus.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with Davoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County, or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
Make the superior choice when you hire a plumber. From unclogging drains and water heater repairs to complete cast iron pipe replacements, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has you covered. Request a free estimate from Superior Plumbing and Pipelining at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Car Bravo is here at Nimnik Buick GMC, a better way to shop used vehicles with transparent pricing. Nimnik Buick GMC is the only Car Bravo dealer in Northeast Florida. And with Car Bravo, it doesn't matter what used vehicle you're looking for because they certify all makes and models. And for a limited time, save an additional $500 when you purchase a Car Bravo certified vehicle at Nimnik Buick GMC. It's a win-win. You always win at Nimnik Buick GMC. Experience Euphoria with Car Bravo online at NimnikBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690, and you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Picks coming up in a bit. Schachter just...
He ruined the grid.
Ruined the grid.
Wasn't me, guys.
Grid ruiner.
It was somebody else.
Holy cow.
It was Immaculate Grid Friday.
We could shock the world and get the basketball one right. I don't think we've ever done that.
We're off to a good start.
We're 2 for 2.
You pulled Jeff Hornacek out. That was pretty good.
Dude used to lick the back of his hand like some weirdo when he's taking free throws. Oh, my goodness. Like, all right, guy, can you do something that doesn't make you look like an 18-year-old cat?
Zay Jones, by the way, out for the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. He has been ruled out.
Yeah.
So has Antonio Johnson. No surprise there. Josh Allen, Andrew Wingard, Foley Fatukasi, all listed as questionable again. Told you earlier, looks like they're tracking to play. Perryman, Petrie, Thomas, Stingley, all out for the Texans.
Do you think the Jaguars just replace Zay's snap count with Tim Jones, or do you think they do something different there?
I think they could go to different sets depending on kind of what.
Like, who's getting more action in his absence?
Well, you could do like the more tight end set, double tight end sets, get those guys on. What will they do from an activation standpoint of Elijah Cooks or Parker Washington to get them on the field? Maybe a little more explosion than a guy like Tim Jones. If you wanted to do that, offers something different. Do you start putting multiple backs in at the same time and split a guy like ETN out more often? Maybe you do that. So I think there's a bunch of different things that the Jags can do. You know what's pretty wild about how far the Jags have come? Zay Jones is going to be out of this game. Zay Jones is a very good player for the Jags.
Great player for the Jags.
Very good.
And I
receptions
don't sense a lick of concern
60-something?
For their offense or for anything else based on the fact that he's going to be out.
Well, like the team would tell you they're concerned because he's an integral part of what they do. But as a fan, you look at it and you go, he's like the fourth option to get the ball to.
Yeah, at least.
Without Calvin Ridley, though, we might be feeling a different type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it was just Kirk and Ingram and ETN, you're like, all right, we might be down here a little bit.
But they did that a little bit last year, right? I mean, he missed and
they all missed a game.
Did Kirk miss a game? I thought he did.
Marvin Jones missed a few.
But that it just punches home the fact that the Jags have so many weapons that at that spot especially, you feel okay even without Zay. And this isn't a knock on Zay Jones by any means. It's just this is not about who the Jags have playing Sunday. This is about blocking, throwing, catching.
You don't want them to beat themselves.
And just go play.
Because if ETN wasn't playing this weekend, does it hurt their chances to win, or do you feel the same way?
I would say it hurts a little bit more, but I do like I think they have capable people for a game. Again, 5 games, 8 games this season, we're talking different stuff. But for a game, I have more confidence right now than maybe a lot of other people do in Bigsby. He'll be fine. I think Dearness Johnson runs hard.
I guess really the question is, do you have more confidence than Doug and staff do?
Yeah, I don't think I do. Again, I think they're fine with him. I think ETN is their best guy. I think ETN is their best weapon. I'm just saying in a game, especially one against Houston, I think you can get production from those guys. Here's the deal, going back to what Kasey said earlier this week, get them the damn ball a little bit, and then maybe we'll find out.
Yeah.
Like production from the running back room these last couple of games isn't necessarily because, especially in ETN's case, playing bad. It's just not getting the ball enough. So you don't really know.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, though, that the Jags are in this spot. I'd hate to say it doesn't matter that Zay Jones is out, but it doesn't feel like it's, oh my, is probably the best way.
Doesn't feel like it's going to move that spread, Case?
Well, as we'll find out next segment, boy, the spread has been a-moving since yesterday.
Oh, no.
So the 9.5, I feel
doubt it's gotten bigger.
It has not.
Right.
The 9.5, I feel even better about since the whole world must have heard the conversation and moved it more than a point.
It's because the Jags have never, or was it the Jags? Trevor's never covered as a home favorite?
Home favorite.
That stat came out and everyone said, we'll take the Texans.
Yeah, well, that's a trendy thing. I mean, that is a trendy thing.
I still think it'll be a boat race.
I'm very interested to see if Trevor comes back and plays well, because the stats I showed you guys earlier this week about that bounce back game, that could be a nice trend. What does happen in these guys' careers is you get off to certain measuring sticks and certain trends, and it stays for a long time to come. Even the good quarterbacks will have bad trends that stick for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of them, but they'll have some of them. And then the good quarterbacks usually have these trends that hang with them for a very long time. This might be one to check the box of Trevor Lawrence that any time they put a stinker out there or they don't feel good or they're mad about it or whatever, he's going to come back in a big-time way. Let's see if he proves it Sunday and can get us feeling that way about his performance and his future. What do you got in the X-land?
Well, let's start with another quarterback who's trying to bounce back, not just from a bad game, but from a bad career, which is now 2 and some change long.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, Case, we're talking about him. Last year on the New York Jets, you saw all the wide receivers wearing the We Love Mike White t-shirts.
That was still wild.
Really insulting. Was it wild, Case? Because now the team has clearly healed. Clearly healed.
No way.
Over in Jetsland, they have T-shirts in every player's locker room. Every player. You know what it says? It says, I got your back.
Oh,
Case.
my.
Do you know what this smells like, Brent, to me? You know, I gave you a wild analogy yesterday. Here's today's. This feels like the mom who marries the stepdad and then tries to make the kids call the stepdad dad. Like Robert Saleh, you cannot force Garrett Wilson and Mecole Hardman and the Lazard King to love Zach Wilson as if he's Aaron Rodgers. That's not a thing that's going to happen for you.
Ironically, you're spot on.
Like, if it was me, if I walked into the locker room and saw those T-shirts, I'd be insulted. I'd be like, who made you do this? Tell me right now.
I can't believe they're making more shirts.
They're making more shirts.
What's wrong with these guys? They're Brent Martineau of the East.
They really are. They got a lot of merch, don't they?
I bet Saleh ain't paying for it. They
stash that money, no job after the year.
This reeks of, I hear the noise.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't like this.
Nobody should.
If I'm a Jets fan, I'm a Saleh fan. I'm not really a Jets fan. I'm a Saleh fan. And why acknowledge that? Like, why even bring that back? Nobody's talking about that right now, are they? I mean, obviously it's a little footnote whenever you want to punch a joke at Zach Wilson from last year in the T-shirts, but
I don't know.
All this does is kind of bring this back up.
Constantly on my mind. Anytime.
Well, it's on your mind.
Well,
but
as a fan,
it's not
as a
in the
Jet
back
fan,
pages
I'm telling
as
you,
much.
I'm watching the game last week, and I see Garrett Wilson go over to console Zach Wilson.
I do actually agree with
And then after the game, I see him making comments about how Zach's a dog and he's much better than last year. And the first thought was, you wanted this guy fired all year.
Yeah,
all year.
I agree with that.
And if this was real life and I worked with you and you tried to get me fired, we're never going to be okay ever again. Ever.
It just feels fake. Anytime Breece Hall or any of the guys that wore Sauce, like it just feels fake. Like they don't really believe.
I would agree with that, but this is what was supposed to happen last year in this situation. As a professional, you've got to fake it, even if you don't believe it.
They just didn't have to wear the Mike White shirts.
You don't.
Like
but
that's
he's
all
also
that had to happen.
The guys that did this, especially from a Garrett Wilson standpoint, you pull out young player, young guy,
all
right?
of them,
Immaturity, not coached up well on that part of it, right?
No.
Maybe not enough veterans around to handle that situation. Frustrated player, very Jalen Ramsey-esque, and going out to the GQ and calling out every quarterback, right?
Except it was the whole team calling out one quarterback versus one guy calling out every quarterback.
So I guess I understand. I agree with you. I do think it feels a little empty when they say this stuff about Wilson now, but at least this is the tack they should take. They can't continue to throw him under the bus if they are going to have any chance to win. I think they're growing from it. The T-shirt thing, no thanks, right? I mean,
bad decision.
It's amazing how much I see now that feels very high schoolish and college, like
at a professional
in the NFL.
level.
And I just don't know if that's the noise that infiltrates the building that gets these people to react in situations like this. But like, you don't make T-shirts in the NFL.
At a minimum.
You don't.
At a minimum, despite the intention, which I'm sure was all positive, right? Like, they're trying to support the guy, fine. At a minimum, whoever forgot about the Mike White thing was reminded with the new Zach Wilson T-shirts. At a minimum.
True.
Just
Alan Lazard
embarrassing.
was like, what is this?
Yeah, I wasn't here last year.
And they're like, here's what happened.
Literally in the meeting, he's like, I didn't
happened.
wear the Mike White T-shirt. Do I have to wear this garbage? Nonsense.
You're fine.
Nonsense. These are men. All right. Let's move on.
But I mean, Zach Wilson's career now revolves around T-shirts.
It's embarrassing.
One that other quarterbacks made, one that the coaches and Jets got him, and one that moms probably wore that were his.
On a side note, Mike White's got to think it's pretty cool. He got T-shirts made by his teammates.
Yeah. Even though he's sitting the bench all year now behind an MVP candidate.
That was wild what Brent just said.
We can move on, though.
Let's go.
Hide your moms.
We're not comfortable with it.
I'm fine with it. I said that like 85
How about this
times.
thought? Because we watched Brock Purdy last night, and you said it. Like, Brock Purdy kind of just looked normal last night. He's got great receivers around him and stuff. And
borderline bad.
Yeah. Well, imagine this. Imagine instead of Trey Lance, it was Mac Jones that ended up with the Niners. Would they already have a Super Bowl?
I believe that.
I don't know if they were beating Philadelphia with Mac Jones last year.
I mean, Brock Purdy seems to be getting it done, and they're very similar kind of quarterbacks.
I know. That's what they had to do. They would have to beat Philadelphia. Philadelphia is very good.
They weren't great in that game early until they couldn't throw the ball.
What about 2 years ago? Mac Jones went to the playoffs that year with a bad Patriots team.
Yeah, I don't know if I get your point. By the way, they'd be better off. Absolutely. Would they be better off? Do I think Mac Jones is better than Purdy? I think in that offense, like that's what you're asking.
That is. Yes.
So I think, but again, this goes back to yesterday's conversation. I don't know why the drastic separation between these two guys. Like, I'm in I think mode, and that was the 15th overall pick versus the 257th pick.
One's coming from Alabama.
Well, one played 1 year. You know, we were still wondering why is he trading up to get Mac Jones at the time if we put ourselves back.
But it made more sense than Trey Lance.
It did.
It seemingly did, and in hindsight, it definitely did. So I think it would be pretty similar because I don't see – I think Mac can do what Purdy's doing. Like, I think that's what he is. I think he's that kind of player.
Me too.
And I think if you put Brock Purdy on the Giants last night, he looks terrible. Like, he probably –
So does Mac.
And probably Mac. And by the way, a lot of quarterbacks
like
probably
literally
do.
Every one of them, with the exception of maybe one or two.
But, like, I thought Daniel Jones acquitted himself okay at times yesterday, despite being in a huge disadvantage. I think these guys would have looked like trash in front of that, you know? I will say this about Daniel Jones. He looks like him and Zach Wilson, the New York quarterbacks, when they show the tight shot – and you look at their eyes, they look like they are scared to be there.
It is not reassuring.
I don't see scared when I see Daniel Jones, but I see angry/confused every time. Every time he looks like he doesn't know where he is, and he's pissed off about it.
It looks like he's cross-eyed somewhere, right? I agree. Like, do you remember that? Like, do you remember that in other quarterbacks? You look at the face, and you're like, oh, this guy looks like he just saw a deer in the headlight look,
Sam
right?
Darnold.
Yeah, he saw ghosts, not deers.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he
sure.
actually saw ghosts. Like, you look at Purdy, and Purdy didn't have his best stuff yesterday, but he never looked like that when they show the tight shot, right?
Purdy is
Say
just
it, Case.
strictly.
He's a handsome man, I know.
He's a good-looking dude, but it's also strictly confidence in Purdy.
Because of his handsomeness.
I actually thought about this yesterday.
How
That
handsome
Purdy's
he is.
a good-looking dude.
When was the last time the Niners had an ugly quarterback?
Jeff Garcia was pretty ugly. Jeff Garcia was borderline, I don't know, in desperate
I don't know
need
how
of
this is going to
alopecia,
come across,
I
but I mean,
yeah.
they get.
Was Trey Lance good looking?
The all handsome team.
Trey Lance has some hairline issues too.
Yeah,
Does he?
I'm not trying to make fun of him for something he can't control, even though you can't control the hairline just a
Like
little
Steve
bit.
Young isn't the most handsome guy of all time,
Yeah,
but
he was
Joe
handsome
Montana
enough.
was like commercial guy.
Joe Montana was handsome
Jimmy
enough.
G's beautiful.
Jimmy G is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Sam Darnold's not ugly. Sam Darnold might have
What is happening
the
here?
jaw of an ice cube, but, you know, he's not an ugly kid.
Purdy's a good-looking dude.
Man, San Francisco really does have pretty quarterbacks.
They're definitely doing better than most teams.
I'm laughing at everything you're saying, but at the same time, I'm thinking it last night.
Yeah. We're just saying what you want. That's fine.
San Francisco does have pretty quarterbacks.
Yeah. It's a fact.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, good-looking dude.
Kaepernick,
good-looking dude.
Yeah, they really do have good-looking dudes.
Yeah, maybe that's like a requirement.
That's why Trey Lance didn't work.
Well, they were looking at Mac Jones, and they're like, I don't know, upper body just looks like average Joe. Let's go after Trey Lance. You don't know. You don't know how these interviews go.
Man.
Listen, they're going to start charging you to read posts on X soon, right?
Well, you want to read this one.
And I was not a fan of that idea. And then occasionally you come across a post where you're like, you know what?
I'd pay for
this stuff. I found one.
I had one of those yesterday.
Here it comes. This is from Scott Barrett, who writes for a fantasy sports
I pay
outlet.
for worse, by the way.
What is that? Whoa. Pause, Brent.
So on Zillow, someone posted Kadarius Toney's, quote, house, which is the medical tent on the sideline at Chiefs Stadium.
I saw that. I saw that in passing. This is This is the funniest thing, how this stuff is consumed sometimes.
Oh, no. So good.
I read it, right? And I'm kind of just scrolling through, but I read it fast. Yeah. And I see, like, the blue tent. I'm like, multiple pictures, right? And I'm like,
what?
Did they post the wrong picture? Or is he really put it? And why? They're already on his house went up for, like, that's what's going through my head.
He's living in the medical tent,
The
guys.
blue tent.
I guess it begs the question, do you think Kansas City has to do something? Or are they just going to ride with, like, who is it, Raheed Rice and
Sky Moore
and Justin
Watson
and a broken Kadarius Toney? Like, is that what they feel like can get it done because Mahomes and Reed, or are they actually going to go out and get somebody?
Who's giving up receivers, though?
I mean, you could find, like, 2 or 3. I'd go to Cincy and grab, what's his name?
Higgins? Or
yeah, who they're not going to sign.
I think they have to do something.
Yeah, but, like, if it's available to do, the Giants would do.
Seattle's
right?
got 3 big-time receivers. If they're not going to make the playoffs, maybe get some draft capital from them.
Like
for
Seattle,
Tyler Lockett.
It's not going to be your top tier. It's not going to be like A.J. Brown that one year when he got traded. It's going to be like a Tyler Lockett. I think that makes sense. It's going to be
K.J. Osborne from the Vikings, especially if you want Addison to step up with some more targets.
That's interesting. Like a Hollywood Brown from Arizona. So they definitely don't accidentally win.
Yeah.
Something like that. Not a top flight guy.
Allen Robinson when Deontay Johnson comes back.
Something like that.
Here's what's crazy. If the Jags weren't as good as they think they are and going to see Kansas City down the road again, they'd be one of the best, if I was KC, to poach. Best teams to poach.
Yeah.
For a Zay Jones.
Because they got the depth.
Or somebody like that.
What about a Cooper Kupp to the Chiefs for like multiple years draft picks?
Could the Jags trade like Parker Washington and get like a 4th?
No, they could not.
No, they could not.
But they could trade Zay. They could even trade Christian Kirk if that was something they wanted to do. But I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, you're not going to trade. That's my point. You're not trading with Kansas City. I mean, unless the wheels fall off this thing early too. But I mean, there you have it.
What about like
receivers?
Allen Lazard?
Lazard is a good. Jahan Dotson, another one. I don't think they trade Lazard because clearly Rodgers will play 7 more years for the Jets. So you got to keep.
And you got to keep Lazard.
Okay, Mecole Hardman, give him back.
And they're doing nothing with Mecole Hardman.
They're like, never mind.
This guy is like, remember when we signed you? That was fun. You can go home now. Nothing.
All right,
he's run 2 routes.
Give him Garrett Wilson then. Chargers got a ton of dudes like a Keenan Allen
in the division.
If they're giving picks, yeah, who cares? Chargers are 0-2, going to be 0-3 after they lose to Captain
That'd be
Kirk
interesting
and the
if
boy.
they continue to lose. Hey, shout out to Willie Jules Old School Barbecue. Good to have them at the Dream 18 once again. They come each and every year. We had the Dream 18 Monday. Willie Jules was there, serving some of the best barbecue in Jacksonville to our golfers and guests. Willie Jules Old School Barbecue. Check them out in Marabella down in St. Augustine. Willie Jules Old School Barbecue.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
Catch Florida State football on Jacksonville's home for ESPN 690. Saturday, the Seminoles travel to Death Valley to take on the Clemson Tigers. Our coverage starts Saturday morning at 9:30 with the Florida State Tailgate Show. Then Jeff Colhane, William Floyd, and Tom Block have the call from Death Valley of Knowles Tigers. Kickoff at 12 noon Saturday. Florida State football is powered by Bass Professional Realty, Bono's Pit Barbecue, and Willie Jules Barbecue.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with Davoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County, or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
The World Poker Tour will be at Best Bet Jacksonville from October 26th through November 14th. This exciting tournament series will feature 14 poker tournaments, including Event 1, $200,000 guarantee, Event 6, $300,000 guarantee, and the $1 million guaranteed main event. Don't miss out on the World Poker Tour Championship. Satellites are going on now. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more information. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Winter is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it, have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Connecticut K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer, Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck? Getting my bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things. The one-of-a-kind wood-fired flavor of a Traeger Ironwood XL grill. And football. That's right, Desmond Howard. Get fired up for the game in just a tap with Traeger's intuitive touchscreen. Then throw on your favorites and monitor the grill from anywhere with Wi-Fi technology. So you spend less time staring at the grill, which means more time for football. Upgrade your Saturday with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Welcome back for the fall semester at UNF. The Ospreys swoop into the fall with a busy schedule. Soccer, cross-country, volleyball, and swimming. The ASUN just announced swimming and diving as a sponsored sport now. They will compete in ASUN Play. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. Men's and women's basketball schedules are out as well, so you can get your season tickets for the basketball schedule right now. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFospreys.com. And swoop with the Ospreys all season.
Stay with ESPN 690 for your chance to see and hear our special events in the Farah and Farah Performance Studio throughout 2023. Powered by Farah and Farah and ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
All right, how fast can you do picks, Kasey? Not for your immaculate basketball grid.
I mean, definitely not fast if I'm doing the grid. But here we go. Oh, we don't even have time for the music. We're leaving this music.
I like it. Let's get through it.
FSU -2.5 at Clemson. I got FSU.
Everybody has FSU. Why does everybody have FSU? They stunk it up at noon last week.
Better team in Death Valley.
Taking Clemson.
I got FSU.
Clemson? Okay. Sorry, guys. I can only write so fast. Ole Miss +6.5 at Bama. I will take Ole Miss.
Really?
They actually win the game outright. I've already seen it.
I'm not sure Bama should even be in the top 25.
I agree with that.
You guys are hating on Alabama. You think 13's too hot.
I mean, they have no quarterback.
Game picker-upper. I'm going Bama.
Well, I didn't say I'm going Ole Miss.
Oh, come on, Brent.
You already said
They're
Bama.
+6.5. I'll take Ole Miss with the points.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Ohio State -3.5 at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame.
I will take Sam Hartman and
I
the boys.
got the Dame.
The Dame.
I don't know. Notre Dame messed this one up. I like Ohio State.
Kasey Hartman, same recruiting class as Trev and Justin Fields.
That's crazy.
That's true.
We move to the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons plus 2.5 at the Lions. I will take Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I got the Falcons.
And the boys.
I'll take the Lions.
Holy cow. Maybe take some time to deliberate. Can't write this
I think the
fast.
Lions are in for a little bit of a disappointment next couple
Weren't
of
you
weeks.
all in on the Lions?
I was, but then they lost a couple of guys, and I don't think they'll play.
You think the Atlanta Falcons are going to 3-0? That'd be something going to London.
I don't actually think they're a 3-0 team, very much Vikings in that sense from last year, but they're a team that can win.
Too much deliberation, boys. The Titans plus 3.5 at the Browns.
I tell you what, people are going to take the Browns. Maybe they win. I like the 3.5, though, with the Titans. Deshaun Watson's doing nothing.
He really is. Against a good defense.
He's in your fantasy card break
Chubb,
lineup.
no.
I'm going Browns. I got to stick with it.
Man of the year goes Browns. I will also go with the Titans because why not? It was 9.5 yesterday. It is now 8.
Really? It slid that much?
That's a lot.
And still moving the other direction.
Why?
8.
On what news?
I know.
Zay
Jones is out.
Really? Zay Jones moves it a 1.5?
No,
Houston has like 4 guys out.
9.5 was way too high.
Okay, but
It's
it was
the NFL.
there. It was there. So, like, it's just the betting action moved it, I
I'll
guess.
take the Jags anyway. Jags going to blow them
We're
out.
taking Jags. I'm with you. I think it's a 30-10 game.
Texans. Still too many points.
Oh. This feels a little bit like Indianapolis at home, where the Jags have been kind of rolling them.
Yeah.
This does not feel like that at all. They haven't been rolling the Texans here in Jacksonville.
It does to me. Texans are not a good team. If the Jags can ratchet up the heat, it's going to get messy for them.
Jags get a field goal just because all Doug Pederson does is break streaks.
That's fine. What about the other 5?
They're just better.
Give me 8's a lot of points.
All right. We'll be back football at 5. Have a good weekend, Aaron Schachter.
Thank you very much,
We got to finish the grid.
We'll finish the grid in the break. We got Kevin Sullivan on the other
We
side.
won't
Take a look at
finish
some of the
the
big
grid.
games in high school football. Deion Sanders continues to have himself a heck of a week. I mean, there's nobody having a better fall than Deion Sanders.
He's amazing.
The latest news from Deion about recruiting, and I don't think he's wrong, but I also don't love it. Part of Football at 5 on ESPN 690.
Hey y'all, this is 17-time PGA Tour winner Jim Furyk inviting you to the 3rd annual Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K this October 2nd to 8th at Timuquana Country Club. Be sure to check out college football and your Jaguars on the Jumbotrons in the Publix Tailgate Village, Birdie Beers at Circle K Party Porch, the ViStar Patriots Outpost, and more. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com to see the legends of the game compete for a spot in the PGA Tour Champions playoffs. Don't forget Ticketmaster.com to get your tickets today.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial, we're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back for the fall semester at UNF. The Ospreys swoop into the fall with a busy schedule. Soccer, cross country, volleyball, and swimming. The ASUN just announced swimming and diving as a sponsored sport now. They will compete in ASUN Play. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. Men's and women's basketball schedules are out as well, so you can get your season tickets for the basketball schedule right now. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFospreys.com. And swoop with the Ospreys all season.
This is Ortho Health Insights, tips for life in motion, brought to you by the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. You are never too old or too young to begin improving your orthopedic health. Elbow pain is one of the most common complaints from active individuals. Many experience elbow pain while at home or at work, or during their favorite activities like golf, tennis, and pickleball. Most elbow pain has a very simple cause and clears up within a few days. You can normally treat this pain yourself with over-the-counter remedies and a few days rest. Simple exercises can help reduce the risk of future problems. The JOI Orthopedic Elbow Specialists are experienced in diagnosing the cause and treating your pain. Whether you need a course of physical therapy or surgery, JOI can help. Call 904-JOI-2000. That's 904-JOI-2000. Or go to JOI.net. JOI is the official sports medicine provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Make the superior choice when you hire a plumber. From unclogging drains and water heater repairs to complete cast iron pipe replacements, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has you covered. Request a free estimate from Superior Plumbing and Pipelining at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau. Check out Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
I'm Doug Brown. The Braves have the best record in baseball with 98 wins. Lefty Max Fried has 8 of those wins, even though he's missed half the season with a forearm strain. Today, he goes on IL with a blister on his left index finger. Highlighting the college football weekend, 10th-ranked Oregon hosting number 19 Colorado. And ESPN's Joe Tessitore says Deion Sanders is more than just a celebrity coach.
These are coaches that from top to bottom are going to hold kids accountable. And his opening press conference that everybody, some bristled at the time when he walked into that room and said, this is not going to be for everybody. I'm going to suggest to many of you that you think about where the door is right now because you're not going to be here.
Joe Tessitore, who calls Colorado and Oregon at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow on ABC. With the uncertainty about Joe Burrow's availability for the Bengals, the team signs quarterback Reed Sinnott to the practice squad. If Burrow can't play Monday night against the Rams, Jake Browning is expected to get the start.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from Week 3 in the NFL. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000 as ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. Sponsored by Arlington Toyota with over 800 new and used vehicles available.
Enter the word DAY at ESPN690.com. That's D-A-Y by 15 past the hour.
Your next chance to win $1,000 and have ESPN 690 pay your bills happens Monday morning at 8 a.m. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me. Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Football 5 we go here on a Friday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Beautiful day in the Jacksonville area. Beautiful night, we hope, for high school football. Certainly trending that way. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. We got Jags home on Sunday before they hit the road to London for a couple of weeks. So see you at the bank on Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be hot. Hydrate up. If you didn't learn from last week, learn this week. But let's be there. Got to keep that thing rocking.
Let's be there.
I'm a little concerned about the crowd on Sunday because of the high of highs the last few times this team has played at home. They got the Titans game that meant everything, the playoff game, the Chiefs that was big, and now you get Houston, which, let's be honest, of all the teams on the schedule, I just feel like, and I don't know if this is true, but I feel like Houston is like the one game that's kind of meh.
I would agree with that.
You know, like Titans carry weight. Indianapolis doesn't always bring maybe like, you don't get the crazy crowd, but I think the fact that they've beaten them, it's fun beating them at home in that streak. Houston's like never this pretty game. And while I don't think like diehard fans love them, I think the casual fans are like, I don't want to go watch C.J. Stroud play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope this listen, the crowd's going to be good every week now. This football team's good. They're going to be fun to watch. They should be fun to watch. I know it wasn't super fun to watch last week, but they will be most weeks. And hopefully we get a good crowd out there. And then the heat. The heat does concern me a little bit because it's going to be very similar to last week where it was hot as, well, you know what. Kevin Sullivan, he joins us right now, the head coach, the Hall of Famer. He's our analyst for the Blitz Scoreboard Show tonight at 9 o'clock. Joins us each and every week on Brent Friends in the 5 o'clock hour as well. Jags are going to get it done this week, man. I know it's hot, but so what? Get it done.
Hot was an understatement last week.
You were showing off the guns last week when I saw you.
Oh yeah, I got my new gear out, so I said, "Let's go, let's get it done." You know,
it was hot though, wasn't it?
We got it a little bit, got a little tan. I got to have that little hoodie to put on to cover my head. That's why. That's why I wear that thing.
I'm telling you,
it is off my neck and my ears.
I said, I joked last week coming off that game. I said if they could have only won, now maybe even without a win, if they did the vote for a new stadium with a cover on it and everything else on Monday, they probably would have approved it like 90-10.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan. I just got crushed a little bit via the text message for taking Clemson tomorrow. Why aren't you there? You usually go to this one.
Yeah, not going this year. Too many things running around right now, so we're not. We're actually at a wedding somewhere else. So I don't know who gets married during football season. I still don't understand that. But we're actually at a wedding a little bit out of the area, not too far. But everything else is good. You know, what the heck, man? They'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, you could take Clemson. They're at home. They've won 7 in a row. They're the underdog, nothing to lose. Big crowd at home. Florida State coming off a game last week. You know, where they sort of sleptwalk through the second half and escape. But sometimes you need those games. The good teams win those games, you know, when you're not supposed to or not playing your best or whatever. So it should be a fun atmosphere. Tomorrow's great games on college now.
Yeah, it's one of the best, really a blockbuster weekend in college football coming up tomorrow. Kevin Sullivan with us here, Brent Friends on ESPN 690. One more thing on that game. I was really hoping it was like a late game. I was going to consider going to it. I've never been to Clemson actually for a game. And if it was at night instead of noon, I would have thought about going to it. But because Clemson at night for Florida State would be good.
You got the hookup at TD's. That's your place now.
That's right. That's right. We've been there. I've only been to Clemson a couple of times, and I've been there a couple of times. So that's where we go. Let's talk some high school football. We've got some good ones tonight in the area as well. And I feel like we're talking about more teams that are trying to avoid deep holes in the season than we are teams on a run. But we got a matchup of both, Mandarin and Creekside. Creekside is 1-3. They play Mandarin. I mean, their schedule has been crazy so far. And other teams like Bowles, same thing, right? They finally get a win over Trinity, but they go to Oakleaf this week. A couple of games there, Coach, that, I mean, you don't want to be 1-4. It doesn't tell the whole story, but 1-4 is not a fun place to live.
Yeah, no, it's funny though. You know, a lot of people just look at records. They're like, oh, they must not be any good this year. They're 1-3 or they're 1-4 or whatnot. You know, Creekside's going to score some points, but you know, can they slow down Mandarin offensively? And they haven't really slowed down anybody offensively. So I look for Mandarin to take that one go. Coach McIntyre, I have them ready to play, being at home. But you know, that's a tall task for Creekside just because they haven't been able to stop anybody. They've given up a bunch of points in those first 3 or 4 games.
And how good should or would or will Oakleaf and Bowles be out there in Clay County tonight?
Oh, I think it'll be a good test tonight for Oakleaf. You know, they're 2-0, new coach, new staff, got some things going around. Last week they played after not playing for the hurricane week, and then they were open. And Bowles getting a win last week. I talked to Coach Hoekstra at Bowles today, and he said, yeah, they definitely needed that. The kids have a little bit better bounce to their step. I thought tonight, defensively, Bowles has to play like they played last week. Very opportunistic. 5 turners they've got off of Trinity's offense. Played really good, and they really exerted their will last week and did a nice job. And they're finding a way a little bit offensively, moving the ball, driving the field with 3 minutes left to get the win last week. So that one's going to be a good one out there, and should be fun.
Oakleaf already always has a bunch of talent, skill position-wise. Got a young quarterback, though. This would be a heck of a test against a Bowles team. Probably a young quarterback gets challenged.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, you know, offensive line, they're big and strong. They're really big up front and big and strong. And they got, you know, Coach Foy's son, Deuce, they call him Christopher Ford Jr. Deuce, had a big game last week. They really laid on Fleming Island. He ran the ball for 243 yards, and they just sort of leaned and opposed their will. And were good enough passing off the play action. That really helped them. And so Bowles' defense is a little different, especially their front 7. They've got some guys that can really go and really play and stop the run. So, again, big test tonight. should be a fun one out there at Oakley. Big crowds the last 2 weeks. Fleming last week, and now Bowles coming to town.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of Duval County games. Ed White Riverside essentially is for a district championship already. We're not even halfway through the season. So big game, and maybe the biggest of the night with all that on the line.
Yeah, without a doubt. Riverside's probably played a little bit better schedule than Ed White as far as competitive. Ed White's, their 3 wins they've had haven't been against any world beaters the last 3 games. They got beat up pretty good week 1, but I don't count week 1. I throw week 1 out most of the time. But they've got some things going. They've been throwing the ball real well, play good defense. Riverside, I think, has done a nice job. They've scored some points, and they've got a really good wideout combination. Kelsey, one of the best 25s, 6'3", big, long, rangy kid. Got 5 touchdowns, been playing some defense. And then Jamal Harvey Jackson, who's about 7 sacks in. They play him at linebacker and defensive end. Really athletic player, big, long, rangy kid also. So that should be fun tonight.
Well, let's take a look at Sandalwood Fletcher, Battle of the Ditch. And again, Sandalwood's a team that we've talked about a little bit, maybe down compared to the way most people view Sandalwood, but this is a rivalry game. And Fletcher trying to keep it rolling with what has been the last few weeks of banged-up Marcellus Tate. Fletcher certainly looks like a favorite here at home, but you never know in this one.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think that Sandalwood's had an extra week to prepare. Whether that means anything or not, I don't know. Maybe they get a little healthy. They've really started leaning a little bit more on the run, so I look for that to happen tonight. But again, Fletcher has sort of weathered the storm with Marcellus out and got through a couple games, and so tonight will be a good one. If Marcellus is healthy, I think it's probably them all the way. But if he's not, I think they'll be in for a dogfight.
Well, let's talk about a team that nobody's talking about and always is good, and that's Rains. They welcome Trinity Catholic to town at the Graveyard tonight at 6:30. And watch out for Rains a little bit. I feel like they're not grabbing headlines, but a ton of talent over there at Rains High School.
Yeah, Rains has gone to Tallahassee to play, gone to Daytona last week and played one of the better teams in the state, and now they get a team from Ocala. And come on, man, we got to get some people around here to play these guys, man. Can't be ducking Rains. I mean, we gotta get them going with some local teams. But no, they ran into a tough one last week with Mainland, and we know how good they are. Really struggled a little bit offensively, didn't get any points, had some turnovers. So again, I think they're going to be fine, and like you said, under the radar like they always are. They play a good schedule early to get them ready down the stretch, and look for them to be one of those teams towards the end of the year. And I still think they're a year away, Rains. I still think they're young in some spots, and I think another year from now they're going to be one of the better ones in the area. But always good out there on Moncrief and a lot of fun. So those guys should be ready to play tonight at home.
Our Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan, with us here on Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Don't forget, tonight we've got the Blitz Scoreboard Show, 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock. We'll give you a live look at some of the action. We'll have some coaches call in, all the scores and updates. The Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker's Sports, Tivoli's House of Cards. That's tonight, 9 p.m. right here on ESPN 690. We really encourage you to watch on all the social media channels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Action Sports Shacks, and you can see it. Or lock into formerly Twitter and X, and we'll have some of the live action for you in the complete show. Then 10:30, it's the Friday Night Blitz on Fox 30 with highlights and reaction from many of the games we're talking about tonight. You mentioned teams are afraid to play others or hard to schedule. Nobody has a bigger problem than that right now, maybe than University Christian. So much so they have to go all the way to Key West to play a football game tonight. What's the farthest you ever traveled to play a high school football game?
Well, we've been to Key West, but that was when I was in South Florida. The only time I got a 15-yard penalty in my career was in Key West.
I can't believe that. Is there someone to verify that? Can your wife verify that or something? The only time you got a 15-yard penalty? I'm actually disappointed in that.
Yeah, the only time we fumbled the ball. We got hit. They fumbled forward. We recovered. And then the official marked him down and gave them the ball where we recovered. And then I went like nuts, and they threw a flag, and I caught it, and I threw it back at the official. So I didn't do that in my older days.
Yeah, I guess that's a no-no. I'm not surprised you got one. I'm just surprised you only got one. Is really where I was going with it. You were more well behaved on the sideline than maybe I expected you to be. That is challenging, though. Do they come back tonight after the game and get back at like 6 in the morning?
They will probably stay the night tonight, I would say. They probably left this morning maybe, and then they'll spend the night after. Everybody does it different, but that's a long ride. I mean, if you
it's like 8 hours.
9 hours,
yeah.
9 hours. And that, but they're going to get some calls will go against them tonight. I can promise you that.
Really?
So, yeah, that's an interesting place to play down there. It's a great atmosphere. The whole town comes out, and it's a lot of fun. But that's a pretty good hike to ride. We've played in Pensacola from here. You know, we're used to playing in Pensacola.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm sure some teams have gone up to like Hoover, and Bartram Trail went up to play Trevor's team in Cartersville. So I mean, there's been some trips, but that's a long trip. That's about as long a trip as you can make and stay in the state of Florida. Really.
Yeah.
From here to Key West. It's always fascinating. We've been down to the Keys before, and when I would drive by Key West, I can't believe they can be good in anything or even field enough for a football team. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's enough people down there. And I want to say, like, their softball team last year in one of the classifications, I think was in the state championship game or the Final Four. So
right.
I don't know how you get good with just seems like there's like 500 people that actually live on the entire island.
Well, one thing you ain't got to worry about them transfer to other schools.
That's a good point.
You know what you got coming up, so you know.
That's a good
That's
point.
one advantage down there.
They don't have the problems a lot of other teams have.
They probably have sailing and fishing as part of one of their elective classes.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
You know?
Hey, sign me up. That sounds great. Let's check out some of the other games. Trinity Christian at Columbia. Hey, where are these two programs right now? I mean, if you go years past, the tradition of both of these schools is fantastic. The expectation is both are very good, competitive playoff teams. I think Trinity is that. Columbia, hard to figure out right at the moment. That's an interesting game to kind of, for both of these teams to say, okay, who are we so far in 2023?
Yeah, Columbia's really struggled offensively. They haven't got great quarterback play, I believe. They graduated them last year, and they just haven't been what we expect Columbia to be, scoring points, playing great defense and everything. And then Trinity, again, their schedule and who they play sort of dictates a little bit to that. We know offensively they're firepower, but you can't turn the ball over like they did last week 4 or 5 times. They expect to win any games. That's the Jags at. So
yeah, the Trinity Christian, by the way, Coach, like they can't turn it over. The penalties are too numerous. They're too talented to let those two things kind of get in the way, because really, if they don't do those at an absurd level, they're going to beat almost anybody they play.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. And and last week I figured they would take care of Bowles in the last drive and turn it over to their defense. They've always played great defense, and Bowles just went right down the field, boom, 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 and scored.
One other game, take a look at. Last one, and then we'll let you go. Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach and analyst. Blitz Scoreboard Show coming up tonight, presented by Baker Sports, Nimnick Buick GMC, and Davoli's House of Cards. And Bartram Trail, St. Augustine. St. Augustine had the number for all those years, and now it's Bartram Trail's turn. And both quarterbacks haven't been playing. Well, Hewlett missed last week's game. Trujillo's been out a little bit. This could be a marquee matchup, or it could be a battle of backups, depending on how this shakes out tonight.
Yeah, and also you've got Coach Johns getting into this big rivalry series for the first time. And, St. Augustine haven't lost the last 4 or 5 of them. They're going to be fired up tonight. It was a really good game last year, and Bartram was clearly the better team, but I don't know if they're the better team tonight. They're a good, solid football team. With Trujillo playing, it really helps them. Weatherly did a really nice job when he subbed 2 weeks ago, but he's not the same because of the experience factor. Good player, going to be a really good player, like a long line of quarterbacks are at Bartram. But if they got all the quarterbacks in tonight, that one will be a tough ticket to get on that one. They'll be standing room only down there.
Yeah, it could be a real fun game. You said it. I agree with you. I think St. Augustine has the better team if everybody's healthy. I think they do. But that hasn't mattered in this series.
No.
For a long time, for many years there, Bartram Trail, it looked like they had the upper hand roster-wise on paper, and St. Augustine would pull it out anyway and keep that streak going. And now it's flipped a little bit on its head. So I think you're going to get some drama down there in St. Augustine tonight. Bartram Trail, St. Augustine, 7 o'clock kick should be fun. All right, one last one. I lied to you because I think this is under the radar. Clay and Tokoi Creek. Could be a fun game, Coach.
Yeah, this is the one that Tokoi Creek they take the big boy steps. You know what I mean? They were in the district this year, and they take the big boy steps tonight with Clay, who's been playing pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll see if what happens there. Those are just some of the games we're keeping an eye on. There's a full slate all across the area. We've got a fantastic night to have some high school football, and we're already half the way through this regular season. Sully, we'll see you in a few hours. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach, talking some high school football. And once again, we've got a full night planned with the Blitz Scoreboard Show. If you haven't checked that show out, I think many of you did last week to catch the end of that Bowls game in Trinity Christian. We'll show you some live looks around the area. We obviously have coaches and scoreboard. Typical scoreboard show in that fashion, but atypical scoreboard show because we show you some highlights during it if you can't get to some of the games. Also, we have Committed to the Uncommitted, our scholarship program. We'll highlight a young man from Tokoi Creek tonight, in fact, that you may not have heard of, and hopefully colleges start hearing about. That's coming up tonight, 9 o'clock, but Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. Baker Sports, Tivoli's House of Cards from 9 p.m. until 10 p.m. with the Action Sports Jacks team. And then 10:30 on Fox 30, it's the Friday Night Blitz, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30, another edition of the Friday Night Blitz. We're not done here yet. Football at 5 rolls on. Deion Sanders' fantastic fall continues, saying all the right things, doing all the right things. And he's the hottest thing going in sports, not just college football, but in sports right now. That's next on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A nice night tonight under clear skies. Temperatures will dip to the 50s, well inland to the 60s closer to the coast. And sunny skies for your Saturday. Afternoon highs will reach the mid-80s, but with comfortable humidity. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop and compare and save thousands at Beards Diamonds.
Hey, poker players, get ready because the World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 26th through November 14th. It is your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play in, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and Mega Satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. Visit bestbetjacks.com for the full World Poker Tour schedule and more information. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Welcome back for the fall semester at UNF. The Ospreys swoop into the fall with a busy schedule. Soccer, cross country, volleyball, and swimming. The ASUN just announced swimming and diving as a sponsored sport now. They will compete in ASUN play. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. Men's and women's basketball schedules are out as well, so you can get your season tickets for the basketball schedule right now. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFospreys.com. And swoop with the Ospreys all season.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
I wouldn't be exaggerating when I say this. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without that chronic joint pain and without drugs and without surgery. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right into your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. That's causing all of that horrible pain. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, a real alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Imagine this fall moving around pain-free, doing the things you love again, walking, hiking, playing golf, playing with the grandkids. Call QC Kinetics and see how the latest advances in precision regenerative medicine can attack your pain and bring you lasting relief. Now is the best time to get started. 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522 for a free consultation with QC Kinetics.
Rich Jones here. Investing can be more about just filling a bank account. It's about having a secure retirement, protecting your family. Let DLP Capital help you to protect your why. Here's CEO and founder Don Wenner.
I started DLP Capital with an expectation that I could provide my family, my investors, my team members, and the families of my investors with awesome returns, limited volatility, and no losses, all while providing desperately needed affordable housing to the American workforce.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial ** invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with Davoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This cardboard order, is it up to date?
Camila's recyclable coffee cup factory can no longer be considered a grande.
Redesign? It's at the printer.
She needs more designers to jump the business to a triple shot.
Client wants to see several more design options. The logo's gotta be bigger.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
You don't even like your quarterback.
Kasey Kuhrts.
You don't even like your team.
And Aaron Schachter.
I don't even like myself, guys. Do you know me?
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Hey, Football 5 rolls on a Friday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks for hanging with us. Brent and Friends on ESPN 690 and all the social media platforms. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Action Sports Jacks. Subscribe to our podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. You can catch us on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch as well. Wherever you listen. We're glad you're doing it. Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, Aaron Schachter gone for the weekend. We send him home early on Fridays.
Must be nice.
He was in rare form, so we're sending him home early.
He's had a good week.
We got the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp tonight.
We do.
Then we have the Blitz scoreboard show right after that. Jumbo Shrimp, 3 games left.
Yeah.
That's it.
1, 2, 3.
That's it in the season. And are you as mad as Ty is about the Orioles just keep on winning?
Nah, I don't care. It was inevitable.
It's impressive what the Orioles have done.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. I want them to call up Jackson. That would be dope.
Holiday?
Yes, the 19-year-old.
He's now at AAA? Did they call him the AAA or is he still in AA?
AAA. He's in AAA.
Yeah, he's really done well at every level, and he's fastly approaching the big leagues, so maybe they do. You know what's wild to me about the Orioles.
What's that, Brent?
Is that they can maintain. Like, I thought the Rangers have done a nice job too, but I figured they would surrender the lead at some point, and they did. They actually fell into third place in the West, and now they've climbed back, and they're like, it's a great battle for the division. The Astros are a half-game lead over the Rangers and the Mariners, so good stuff. But they just hadn't been there, so they're not really battle-tested. The Orioles really fall under this. You'd think somewhere along the way, with the Rays breathing down their neck, the way the Rays were playing, really ever since the Franco situation, the Rays have played excellent baseball, and they've been there. And it doesn't seem like it matters. The Orioles are unfazed. I believe the Orioles might be more built for the regular season than postseason, but maybe they're proving me wrong because this feels like they're in a postseason stretch already, and they're getting the job done.
Yeah, I don't know if they can pitch. I don't know if their young guys are going to be able to hold it together. I think they'll be able to hit. I believe in Adley and Gunnar and the boys, but the Kyle Bradishes of the world and Grayson Rodriguez, if they decide to go that route, and Kyle Gibson, will those guys be able to actually stand up and pitch in the postseason, I think is still a question.
The Yankees and Mets, probably the most disappointing teams in Major League Baseball. Fair enough?
Yep. Padres.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, like, without those guys, so the Padres, yeah, they're from fourth place. They're 20 back of the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'll tell you what, the Dodgers, I know they're built to do it, but they don't disappoint. I feel like last time we did this, it was still like a 4-game lead or something like that. Now it's 13.5.
Yeah.
They've pulled away to be almost catching the Braves for the best record.
But they're not as good as the Braves.
No, they're not. Anybody else from a disappointment standpoint? You know, I mean, even the Phillies are 15 games over 500. They haven't really contended, of course. The Braves are just too good. San Francisco Giants, I mean, they're right around 500.
White Sox, if you believe that.
Yeah, the White Sox. I mean, the White Sox are awful.
Yeah, they stink.
Like, it's not that they're just not as good as they thought they'd be. They're just awful.
Yeah, real bad. It's a disaster.
And I'll give you, like...
Toronto?
I was saying Toronto, but you look at their record, man. They're 17 games over 500. Like, that's good in baseball.
Yeah, but if you're getting blitzed by the Orioles, it feels like you didn't do something.
I guess, but the Orioles, that just goes to... The Orioles have 95 wins.
Crazy.
Maybe get to 100 wins.
Yeah, they are. The boys.
I'm impressed with them. That's 100 wins, and they're 4-6 in their last 10. So, baseball playoffs on the horizon. Really a fun time of year when you get the baseball playoffs cooking. You get to start, if you like hockey and basketball, you're going to start getting training camps and the start of those seasons, and obviously right in the middle of college and NFL football seasons. You know, next week when we're in London, Ryder Cup.
That's what they be saying.
Are you going to be watching it all? Do you care?
Yeah, I'll watch.
Yeah.
Where's it at? London?
Isn't it? Is it Italy?
How far is that from London? Could you go, Brent?
Nah, I don't think so.
I'm going to type that in.
I think I've been to the Ryder Cup before. Or I'm sorry, the Ryder Cup's been going on when I've been in London. Where's the Ryder Cup? Rome. Yeah, I was right. It was Italy. I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun watching it from like a pub. You know what I mean?
Are you going to wear your red, white, and blue?
I think I did the last time.
He's going to do it again, folks.
Yeah, I did. So hopefully I will do it again. I'll have to remember to bring something red, white, and blue.
Brent, you could go. It's only 14 hours by train. And you have to change 4 times.
I think the Ryder Cup would be fun to go to, but I will say this about golf events. If you really want to know what's going on, it's not fun to go to them.
That's true.
It's more fun to watch TV. And part of the fun of Ryder Cup for me is watching all the different flags up on the scoreboard, you know, and bouncing around match to match. The biggest story in sports is Deion Sanders. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Is there anything like what's the second biggest story? Is there one?
Probably the NFL as a whole.
I guess. Deion's latest thing is he says nobody's going to be recruited out of high school.
Interesting.
Is he right?
He is not right, no. You'll still get, there's still going to be top-tier Travis Hunter type players that will get recruited. Yeah, there you go. Recruited out of high school. But I think the majority will be transfer portal stuff. I do agree, like, somewhat, but, like, the top-tier guys are still getting recruited out of high school. But it will go down, I believe.
Yeah, I think you have to still get high school kids. Like, there's no like blanket statement here. This is not. Guess what? Travis Hunter was going to be recruited out of high school, right?
Yep. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields.
Yeah, those guys. You still have to take. They're better than the guys in the transfer portal. And by the way, the one thing about the transfer portal is, you can get good guys. You can get guys that are trying to elevate or that have proved themselves or late bloomers, and then you can go grab them. But most of the time, they're leaving because of a reason. So you've still got a chance to get a kid out of high school, build the culture. The difference here, and the one thing that's hard to get behind, is even if you take a top prospect, most teams would rather be built with a 22-year-old kid than an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah. I mean, that's for sure.
So that's where Deion's right. That's where college sports is.
Yeah, but you can't just do that. Like, it may work at times, but when it doesn't work and you mess it up and you've got no underclassmen to rely on or develop, you're in serious trouble. That's how you win 0 games, in my opinion. There's got to be a mix of both. Whether Deion wants to fly around the country and do it or not.
Where do you go? Where do they go? Where do high school kids go? They just start at lower levels and then get scooped up, and it basically becomes everything's like junior college program.
I mean, I think the thought is someone's going to do it, but it's not going to be Deion. Like, someone's going to recruit that kid, whether it's Southern Miss or whoever, and then if they're good, we going to take them.
Yeah. Which
is basically not in football, but the beef, or at least I wouldn't say beef, the conversation we've had about UNF.
Yeah.
Like, someone's going to do it, baseball, basketball, whatever. You're going to find them, you're going to develop them, and then, Deion, but not because there's no football, is going to swoop in and get them.
Yeah, I think that's going to continue to happen, and that's where these 4-year schools are still going to be junior colleges essentially to somebody. You can't stop the kids from going, and somebody that's playing well wants to go play. Right now, how many kids are going to leave their current landscape to go try to play for Deion next year?
A ton. All of them that are good. He's going to have more than he can handle or enroll, I think.
Yeah, I think
anybody who's splitting time right now and they're talented, looking at Colorado. What I'm intrigued by is, Texas is the easy one to point at because of Arch Manning, or like Georgia, where you've recruited the 5-star quarterback 5 times and you've got 3 of them sitting there.
Yeah.
And Shador leaves. What are they going to do? Could you imagine if like Arch Manning's like, yeah, I'll go to Colorado?
Well, here's the thing. I know this seems weird to talk about in the context. I still think it's so new, but I just don't find that far-fetched. Right now, just take Colorado. And this is probably what Deion could be talking about the whole landscape of college football, but let's just take Colorado for the moment, assuming he's there for the next 5 years. Right now, the coolest place to be on the earth is Boulder, Colorado.
Ain't that something?
And
on the TV right now.
Guess what kids like when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22?
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And getting shades and being on ESPN and College Game Day and being the talk of everything, like they want to be a part of it. And that's what's happening right now. So from Deion's perspective, like he really won't have to go recruit high school kids. Like the program itself right now is recruiting when he doesn't even have to step foot off campus. Because people are calling and say, I want to be a part of it. Look, the stars are coming to Boulder, Colorado and saying, find me a ticket. You don't think the 18, 19, 20-year-old is doing that?
I'm telling you, man. We do not give enough credit for Kawhi Leonard going to Boulder.
So
he was there.
Again, I think in Deion's case, he has made himself a unicorn in the sense that everybody wants to go there. See, I think a lot of people want to go to Alabama, but I'm not sure everybody really deep down wants to play for Nick Saban. Like, it sounds cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't know if you really want to do what Nick Saban wants you to do.
Probably not.
Like, I don't believe there's a kid out there right now that thinks Deion Sanders actually makes his team run sprints. Guess what? Deion does.
Yeah.
Like, they train hard.
I actually don't
They do probably the same stuff that Saban does.
I actually get the vibe that they're coached super hard.
Oh, you do? That's the vibe you get?
I do. Just from the way that the opening we're cutting this whole team thing was handled.
I get it.
And the way that they react in the videos, like he says something, they immediately reply. Like I feel like they got a hard training camp, and then maybe their regular season ain't too tough.
By the way, like they do, Kasey. I'm just telling you from an outside perspective, you would say it's harder to right now. An 18-year-old kid is thinking it's harder to play for Nick Saban than it is for Deion Sanders.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, he's coaching them hard and all those things. I don't doubt that at all. I just think the perception is everything's kind of fun. Like football is way more fun in Boulder, Colorado right now than it is at Alabama.
Sure.
Or multiple places across the country. So, and I just don't see it stopping. Like I think now he's going to be able to get almost anybody he wants to get. And can he handle the success as well as he's handled the climb right now? Because they have handled this just so wonderfully. And he is pushing every button right. And again, this is a guy that's going to be on every TV show. I mean, commercials. He's not going away.
No.
He's in your face right now, and that's okay from a recruiting standpoint. Did you see the numbers that came out on Colorado? They said so far through 3 games and I guess the training camp, everything else, they have got what would account to $90 million in advertising.
That's crazy. It worked.
It's already worked, and that doesn't count sponsorship, people putting in NIL funds, people buying tickets, whatever it is. I mean, the money is just falling off the mountains and landing in Boulder, Colorado right now.
Shout out to him.
And that's not going to stop. I mean, he's saying all the right things. I mean, whether it's right or wrong about recruiting, I mean, in his place, it's probably going to be right. He doesn't need to go after the high school kid. And the high school kid that is Arch Manning or is Travis Hunter's coming to find him anyway, probably. So he doesn't have to work as hard as probably other people are going to have to work at it. He's probably going to have to learn how to turn things away if he doesn't already know how to do that. We'll see. He seems to be surrounded by very good coaches.
You heard Warren Sapp is joining the
squad.
squad.
And I don't know if I like that for Deion. Like, I think Deion's got a good staff right now, and I don't know if he needs star power on his staff. I think he's got all the star power that place needs. So I don't know what Warren Sapp. I look at the Warren Sapp thing and I'm like, I don't know if you need that, man. But maybe they do. Maybe it works. Listen, I'm not going to tell Deion he's wrong right now because everything he's doing is right.
I'll tell you what. If you're out there listening, don't try to graph Warren Sapp.
Really? Tough?
It will not go
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, it's not tough. You just got to have some thick skin.
He's going to give it to you, huh? He's going to make you earn it?
Oh, you're never earning it.
No, you're
There's
never
at no point where you're earning it.
You're never getting it.
I would just stay home, personally. If it's me and you're thinking about graphing Colorado next year with Deion, I would just stay at the house.
Have you graphed Deion before?
It's not a thing. It doesn't exist.
No?
No. I mean, I've, been in the area, but it doesn't exist.
Okay. Just wild. Obviously, there's a bunch of stories this week, Deion, and they continue to be pretty good stories. Now we get a little bit of a taste of, okay, how good can he coach him up? How good can they be? Because they're underdog the next 2 weeks. Like, they're just not as good.
Big time. They'll be bigger underdogs next week.
Yeah,
unless it's 21.
It's 21 tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm not sitting here telling you it's free money because I'm not sure that it is.
And here's the deal about this game tomorrow. I'm intrigued.
Oh, for sure.
3:30 tomorrow. It's an ABC game, and it's going to do unbelievable numbers.
Wait, it's 3:30?
Yeah, it'll be the game of the day.
I thought it was. Oh, is that the USC game that's at noon? Did you not hear about this? One of their games is at noon, and it's 9 a.m. Oh, it's USC.
Yeah, it's 9 a.m. in California?
Yeah.
And they're going to play at 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing that for?
USC's like, come on, bro.
Why wouldn't they put that in prime time? Why wouldn't they move that? Somebody make a move.
Makes no sense.
That really doesn't make sense.
3:30, though, I'm in. I'll be watching. Over anything else.
You have Ohio State, Notre Dame tomorrow. That's going to be a monster game ratings-wise. Keep an eye on Oregon, Colorado when the numbers come out from a rating standpoint. How close that gets. I believe Ohio State, Notre Dame will still be bigger.
No, I don't.
I don't know, man. Those are two monster brands.
I know, but
and a good game. Both
everyone's
are top 10.
in on Colorado, and
it's prime time. It's 7:30. I'm telling you, Notre Dame, Ohio State wins. That'll be. Forget about it.
Oh, no, we're not doing this.
Come on.
You can't come back from what happened a couple of weeks ago. We won't forget, Brent.
I already won lunch the last bet we made. Just haven't got it yet.
Dang it. I meant to bring you lunch today, but I was late leaving the house of cards.
We'll put a bow on the show when we come back. Brent and Friends on ESPN 690, heading into a Friday night high school football style. Who Dion says, those kids will never get recruited, I guess.
Never once.
I believe you will.
Hopefully.
They'll play hard tonight, kids. We'll be back.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. We'll have 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. All you have to do is enter the correct keyword at ESPN690.com to be eligible to win. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. ESPN 690 pays your bills. Sponsored by Arlington Toyota with over 800 new and used vehicles available. Weekdays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 and 5 p.m. Tune in to win from ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Grab an ice-cold can of Celsius Arctic Vibe and experience a refreshing blast of sparkling frozen berry. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks are the perfect way to beat the heat all summer long. Find Celsius Arctic Vibe at a retailer near you or visit Celsius.com to learn more.
Car Bravo is here at Nimnick Buick GMC, a better way to shop used vehicles with transparent pricing. Nimnick Buick GMC is the only Car Bravo dealer in Northeast Florida. And with Car Bravo, it doesn't matter what used vehicle you're looking for because they certify all makes and models. And for a limited time, save an additional $500 when you purchase a Car Bravo certified vehicle at Nimnick Buick GMC. It's a win-win. You always win at Nimnick Buick GMC. Experience Used-phoria with Car Bravo online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Why can't I just speak to an actual human being? I need a new bank.
Well, actually, at One-to-One Financial, communication is not only number one, it's one-to-one. When you call, you get to talk to a real live Jacksonville human, fast, and with someone who's truly concerned about your needs, your security, and finding solutions as a team.
Thank you.
Ready to break up with your bank? Find a real long-term banking relationship at One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit one-to-onefcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey guys, it's me, Pete the Job Guy. You know you listen to my show every weekend. But listen, if you need staffing assistance of any kind, you call the good folks at Ascendo Resources. My co-host Angie Langlois and I'm Pete Langlois or Pete the Job Guy. Just reach out to me, Pete at PeteTheJobGuy.com, and I can guarantee you there hasn't been a qualified candidate genocide. We know where they're at, and we can fill your open jobs. Ha ha!
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSafe in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
It's fantasy football like you've never played it before. You love fantasy football, right? Of course you do. Do you like competing? Yeah. You like winning? Absolutely. It's Fantasy Card Breaks with Davoli's House of Cards. You don't know your team until you open the pack of cards. There's curiosity, competition, and collecting prizes. Visit Davoli's House of Cards off 210 in St. Johns County or just visit fantasycardbreaks.com. Fantasy football like you've never played it before with Davoli's House of Cards. fantasycardbreaks.com.
If your restaurant has slow bathroom drains and grease blockages, call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining's high-pressure sewer jetting and camera inspection of the drains will assure your peace of mind at your restaurant. Request a free estimate at SuperiorPlumbingJax.com.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Welcome back for the fall semester at UNF. The Ospreys swoop into the fall with a busy schedule. Soccer, cross country, volleyball, and swimming. The ASUN just announced swimming and diving as a sponsored sport now. They will compete in ASUN play. Plenty of events to attend, something for everyone on the campus of UNF. Men's and women's basketball schedules are out as well, so you can get your season tickets for the basketball schedule right now. Get news, schedules, results, and tickets at UNFospreys.com. And swoop with the Ospreys all season. Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690. It's a Friday here presented by Nimnicht Buick GMC, and the Nimnicht family of dealerships wants to make sure you know that the UAW strike will not affect your vehicle purchase. I understand there are many concerns about the recent United Auto Workers strike, and want to assure you that this will not impact your ability to purchase vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. In fact, they're proud to announce that they currently have the strongest inventory levels in years. And with the best price guarantee, most of the vehicles are consistently priced at or below MSRP, including some of the most sought-after models. Check them out, NimnichtBuickGMC.com, right off Phillips Highway as well. GMC, we are professional grade. Did you see the Stephen A. Smith first pitch?
Wasn't great. Was not great, Brent.
I got two things.
Oh, boy.
Is Stephen A. Smith big enough to be throwing out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium?
Unquestionably, yes.
Really?
Yes, Brent.
Like, I know he makes $10 million a year.
Brent. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What other sport? McAfee does. He did the Colts thing. Makes sense, obviously, going back. But McAfee would be one. Like, what other, like, sports broadcast personalities are big enough to throw the first pitch at Yankee Stadium?
Skip Bayless.
Bayless is big enough?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. McAfee could.
Well, McAfee, I agree.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah, I don't know how
Bob
many.
Costas?
And not anymore. Not now. Like,
he could.
25 years.
No, he absolutely still could. It's baseball, Brent.
Yeah. I can't believe you said Skip Bayless. Like, do you think?
He absolutely could. Whether you like him or not, he's famous. Famous skits. Also, they be letting randos throw out the first pitch.
Well, it's not always like this mega star. I understand that. Like, but it is still, it feels,
You're not happy with it.
Well, it just feels like Yankee Stadium is kind of bigger than Stephen A. Smith.
He's from New York.
I know. He's a Yankee fan and all that stuff. And then it's a terrible pitch, dude. For somebody who's calling out, he called out Kellerman recently. Did you see that?
He called out Kellerman. He also said Ohtani wasn't worth the money because he couldn't sell tickets in L.A.
And he said something about Kellerman. Listen, I'm not like defending Max Kellerman here, but I saw the conversation or the talking point, and it was something to the effect he was hammering Max Kellerman, who he used to do the show with, and he said he's not an athlete.
Yes.
So he can't talk like, which, by the way, you don't have to be an athlete to be able to talk about athletes and sports. Like, I think that's crystal clear. All you got to do is look at the media. Skip Bayless, how bit of an athlete is he?
Not much. His pitch would probably be worse.
And then you go do that pitch, Stephen A. Smith?
Not good.
Like, you say that 2 weeks ago, and then, that's the pitch?
Not good.
Like, you've played baseball. Didn't it look like he threw a wiffle ball? You know the wiffle ball, sometimes hard to get it there?
Yeah. Well, it did not get there. Spoiler alert.
So bad.
It did.
You can laugh all you want about it today, but don't call somebody a non-athlete 2 weeks ago and then throw a pitch like that.
I agree with that. It's a good take.
You should get hammered today.
Really?
Yeah, man.
It's baseball. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching the Yankees games right now, I'll tell you that.
That's a good point. Maybe that's why they had him out.
What do we got for Dodgers-Orioles, Brent? Anything?
Eddie Murray? Did Eddie Murray play for the Dodgers?
I don't know. So much thinking today. But I'm halfway home on another grid.
What is this, an older grid?
Yeah, apparently you can do the previous ones now. I'm locked in. By the way, this one's also a heater. Nothing higher than 7%. We're cooking.
Dodgers, Orioles. Did Alderwood play for both of them?
I don't think he played for either. I don't know.
Didn't he play for the Dodgers late in his career? He bounced around, I thought, didn't he?
Yeah, unconfirmed. I don't feel good about that.
I mean, I know he played Toronto for most of it, but well, you figure that out. And I'll see you at 9 o'clock tonight.
I'll have a full report of the grid.
For the Blitz Scoreboard Show coming up tonight, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC, Baker Sports, and DeVoy's House of Cards. Look forward to a fun night of high school football. Have fun out there. Drive safe. Good luck to all the kids playing. And we will see you at a couple of stops. I'll be heading to Inglewood and then down to Creekside and back here for the Blitz Scoreboard Show and then the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us on ESPN 690.
Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Do ball.
Have a good night, everybody.
Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine are paying out over $640,000 this month in poker promotions. There will be exciting high-hand specials and no-limit hold'em tournaments all month. Catch Insta Paydays and game day promos at St. Augustine, $300 early bird specials at Orange Park, $500 Fridays at Jacksonville, and much more. Enjoy the best in poker and card games at Best Bet. For more information,